Didn't get a notification on my phone, so I hope it
It takes
actually
a
is
second.
streaming.
It always takes a little bit.
All right, now we are streaming the raw, uh, like recording the raw version onto my computer. So do the introduction again, folks, just as if we hadn't not cooperated with this and done it.
We haven't introduced anything.
Mm. Hey everybody. We're gonna play another Hardwired Island because I like it and I like my character, and I'm gonna keep whining until we actually play a campaign. Which means Alice is going to actually have to think of an actual cyberpunk campaign and just make, instead of making things up like 3 hours before the session.
No, she doesn't. She
She
can just
might.
keep doing that.
It's been working so far. If it ain't broke,
Oh,
don't
we
fix
send
it.
the game for
And work-
stuff.
It's
Game.
working for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fefner can't make it today because her family is migratory. Every couple years they pick up and move. They're continuing on the traditions of the hunter gatherer ways of ancient.
Yeah, they're going back north for the summer.
Yeah. It's her culture.
Anyways,
All right.
Hardwired Island.
I don't know how to play this game at
You
all.
have to
Let's
remember
go.
where all the fucking rules and rolls are. They really need to.
I don't
So-
even know if I have my fucking notes. Where did this go?
So
I will
to anyone who watches this, we are still kind of figuring this out. We were a little shaky, but managed to do it last time, so we will try to do our best this time, I guess.
Oh, I found the text file. It's coolrats.txt.
Nice. If you guys see anything that I'm doing wrong, please tell me, because
Yeah,
I am unfamiliar as well.
What I'm gonna do with this video, just like I did with the last video, is I'm gonna upload it onto. I'm gonna share it on the Hardwired Island Discord server that I'm now in, and I would like anybody who actually bothers to watch this video to let me know what we're doing wrong and stuff like that. Though in general, people seem just more interested in seeing it actually played and liked some of the stuff that we were talking about. That's the feedback we got, by the way, is that our criticisms were things that they had heard before and they liked like how we rolled with like how to break ties and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway.
Do you have a different background we can
No,
move to?
we're gonna use the same background. No new background.
I would change it, but I don't have the power to do that.
Yeah, Fafner is the one in charge.
The person
She's not
who's
here.
the GM of this default game area that we use is Fafner, and she's migrating.
I'll just leave up my splash screen then, I guess. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so
put on like a cyberpunk whatever splash screen if you want it, but that's effort. God. Okay.
They turned to cars in this. That's pretty cyberpunk.
That is pretty.
I think you will just.
Yeah, I am aware. It's good. Okay, so again, the format of this game for you two, Jeff, mostly because he's forgotten, is you roll 2d6 plus stat bonus. So 2d6 plus cool, 2d6 plus clever, 2d6 plus tough, 2d6 plus quick, and depending on how well you do, you either don't suck or do suck. And if you have
varying degrees of suck.
If you have a background to support it, you can add another plus. So, like for example, my character Sleem has a military background, and he has points in like using guns and lying, and being fast, and being angry and grumpy. So, if we're doing like a yell at people or military thing, I can add another +1 to whatever I'm rolling. So if I'm rolling tough, to like be tough, I can say I'm also like a military guy, and I get a +4 to tough instead of my +3. So that's just explaining it to people who didn't watch our first video. There are certain skills in the game, like that you can use, like bullshit, charm, etc., and it lists out the kind of stat that you're going to be rolling with and how it works in the guide here. We already complained about this, but the default, like the current Kickstarter preview is laid out kind of a bit unideal, in my opinion. But yeah,
It looks more focused on aesthetic than on
Yeah.
usability.
You gotta.
The aesthetic is nice though.
Yeah, the
Yes.
aesthetic is great. Well, I like the font. Just so you two know, this font is really good.
It's very readable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy on the eyes, and like it takes a bit to find stuff, but honestly, like it doesn't quite tire me out the way I've been trying to read through the Shadowrun book, and
Oh
it's
my God.
exhausting.
Yeah. Let's just run Shadowrun and Hardwired Island, please. I know there's no magic. We'll figure something out. I was actually talking.
No, you just add a fourth thing. Like
Yeah.
there's stealth, social, hacking, fighting, then just, hey, there's magic also. There you
Right.
go.
Any bets on whether or not Jenner creates a Orc Street Samurai?
I would never be. I mean, yes. I want to be. I want to be.
It's okay, I would too.
I want to be a troll mystic adept, though, not an orc street.
Oh. Then I'll have to be the Orc.
Yeah,
I'll have to be the Orc Street
Our
Sammy.
characters can be dating, okay?
What we'll do it.
Okay.
Okay, are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, but let's go.
All right. So, do you all remember what happened last time?
I actually do.
Kind of.
Okay, so we're all on the same page. Your district, which is basically a small town, is kind of one of the more forgotten ones of the colony, and it was on lockdown mysteriously. While you were trying to figure out what was going on, and why your district of Grand Cross had been cut off from the rest of the station, a bunch of really crazy bad people showed up and basically took over. They were kind of somewhere between transhumanists gone wrong and what if Elon Musk had a religion about him? And they were not very
I
nice.
just want everybody to know that Elon Musk could totally start a cult if he wanted to, right here, right now. But do go on.
Like he already hasn't.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you ever see people just defending him on Twitter?
It's so weird.
Yes.
Oh shit, am I not
Here's the
broad-
thing. He absolutely has. a
Oh
cult.
shit, hold
It's
on.
been-
I'm not broadcasting any audio from you. Stop
Oh,
a
no.
second.
He-
I gotta read my computer. I'll be right back.
I'm so glad
Shit.
I've been recording. This is why we don't
Oh,
trust Jeff.
lol. Okay, yeah, this is a Jeff only conversation.
Yeah. No, it's on the local recording, so we still have this content.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it is. I'm recording it locally. I
You're
promise.
recording desktop audio?
Yeah, I'm recording desktop audio.
Because I made that mistake where had desktop audio muted.
Nope, I'm recording desktop audio. Anyway, Elon Musk absolutely has a cult. I know Jeff wants this on the stream. I will repeat it. I just need to finish the joke. He just doesn't do anything with it. It's like an unofficial cult instead of a cult that he acknowledges and starts to do things with.
I'll give it a little while.
Yeah.
You know that his baby's name violates the Constitution of California?
Good.
I don't hate the baby. I hate the people who had the baby. The baby is fine. The baby's
I
a
know.
victim here. I
Yeah.
don't know how to pronounce that, but I hear that name. They changed the name anyway.
You mean
He's
XAE
gonna-
something or other 12?
I think
still not
it's-
seeing the what the fuck. Hold on.
Hi, and I don't remember what the AE is, but like, I just called him the formerly nameless baby.
Yeah. Like they have not put out a voice clip for how they're pronounced the name, so I don't know how to pronounce it.
Okay, I fixed it.
Okay, thank you.
I can see the audio thing moving now.
We're actually not gonna finish the joke. I lied. You weren't recording it anyway, so nobody knows what the joke is. Hi everybody, we're playing Hardwired Island because Jeff is now recording the sound.
We did it. I'm proud of myself.
But it's okay. I have a recorded version, so I'm just gonna cut this part out for the people who were already hearing this in my version that was being recorded locally to my computer. So do keep talking, Alice. We were talking about Elon Musk. It's not important.
Okay, so real quick, your district of Grand Cross is near the back. It's not terrible, but it's not super great. If there's going to be a power shortage, this is the place where it's going to happen. Kind of part of town, and it was taken over. There was in lockdown. Everywhere lost power, and in short order, it was taken over by accelerationists, which is what they call themselves. They are basically what if Elon Musk had a cult about him, and they are big on sort of this idea that humanity is on a crash course with the future, and that anything that progresses the idea of what a human is, by how they sort of define that, should be followed. Of course, what they usually generally tend to mean is that basically the megacorp should be free to have their own extraterritoriality and stuff like that. They're not great, and they don't necessarily value human life. They took over. You were all contacted by a mysterious figure named Aeschylus. I'm probably mispronouncing that. It's a Greek dramatist. He contacted all of our party members individually and asked them to come to an old warehouse on the far side of town, where he revealed to you that he was some kind of hacker. You don't really know anything about him yet, who had evidence that the whole thing was an elaborate false flag by one of the megacorps who forms part of the who has a seat on the council that rules Grand Cost. That megacorp is trying to convince people that a unnamed terrorist organization, which is explicitly anti-corporate, is going to use that district as a kind of projectile, do a colony drop. If you've ever watched the original Gundam, it's basically going to do that. Drop it on somewhere on Earth as an act of terror, unless corporate influence from Grey Cross is removed. That is a lie. No one has actually claimed that inside of the city. The whole thing is an attempt to scare people into giving them power. You are given the mission to get the truth out, that this was all a ruse. You were kind of successful in that you were able to leave Elysian Hills, your district, and and upload a lot of information. One of you sacrificed greatly to do this.
Oh, so much. All my accounts are gone.
All of them are gone. Your acquired clout, which is the only thing that matters in a human's life, as we all know, is gone. The work of ages. Unfortunately, it hasn't been quite as successful as you would have hoped. The news does pick it up. You know this because you were watching the news from you have not moved from that tunnel on the other side of the divide, watching the news intently, trying to figure out what is going on out there. And as you were doing that, you get a nasty surprise. The bridge that's brought you here retracts, and the door on the other side slams shut, leaving you outside of your own district. That was yesterday. Aeschylus apologized a lot. He's going to get you back in because you've still got work to do, and also you should probably go home, but it's going to take him about a day. In the meantime, he's paid for a hotel room for you guys, a couple of hotel rooms for you guys, and put you up in them.
Is it like a Motel 8 kind of hotel?
Basically, yeah.
Super cheap.
He apologized for the fact that you were in a shitty motel, but pointed out that you would probably want to lay low right now anyway. But you cannot go home until he figures out a way to get you back in. Because his one way out that he knew about was the one that you used. He doesn't know who closed it off. That was yesterday, so it's been about 24 hours, give or take. Out of curiosity, would any of you been watching the news, waiting for him to get back to you?
I've been watching social media.
Okay. Which ones of you would have pursued more traditional news sources?
I would have just had the TV on.
I have the most important question. We're sharing a room. How many beds are there? This is very important for the viewers.
He has got you 2 rooms with one with 2 very small beds and one with 1 big bed.
Okay, that's enough for everybody because the robot isn't here. Saleem takes the room with
Pal,
1 big bed.
The
and you two
robot
can
was the
sleep in your
laptop.
beds.
Pal, by the way, has skedaddled. they were called back to corporate office. You do not know why. You hope it's not for anything bad, but I mean, PAL does work for like what amounts to like the App Store, like the Apple Store. So like it can't be that bad.
Do we
Sorry.
still have her laptop, or did that just like
Yes.
sprout a jetpack and fly off too?
No, you do have the laptop. The laptop
Okay.
is still around. PAL was able to transfer themselves, like basically via the whatchamacallit, the Grand Cross's like internet.
Sorry,
System.
Shipper.
Later, shitlords.
Looks like Sleem and Willie Make It aren't gonna build a pillow wall between them as they have to share a bed. It's not
Wall.
happening. Not happening this time.
I like that,
Sorry.
Jitter, because you said Celine was taking the big bed. That means that the two of us that are actually watching the news are in the same room, so you're not going to find out. We're about to find out.
Yep, Sleem doesn't really watch the news either because he gets his temper gets to him if he watches the news.
I was about to ask, how does Salim take the fact that he cannot go home?
It's pretty upsetting. He doesn't like it.
Like, I'm imagining the Salim kind of like is like furious.
He's working on his anger, so he stops scaring people around him. But when Aeschylus, his anger issues, but when Aeschylus tells him, like, by the way, you can't go home, or like he picks up something and throws it and screams, and then like stops himself and drops his fist to his side and takes like a few like, and then just walks away quietly.
Nice.
He has been counting ever since this encounter.
He's been doing some self-soothing techniques.
Normally they count to 10. Well, he just started counting and it hasn't stopped yet.
So, by the way, Aeschylus also managed, because at least one of you is kind of heavily armed right now. Aeschylus did in fact somehow he managed to provide you with several bags, like those like gym bags full of clothes and stuff, just in case you need to like change what you're wearing, and also maybe like some sunglasses or whatever, so you can not look the same. You do not know how they got there, but they're just waiting for you on the way to this motel that he has apparently gotten you a room with.
Yeah, there's also that stockpile of military stuff that we technically canonically went through after we were finished with the mission. So if other characters
They're pretty big bags.
wanted to be outfitted with something more offensive, then I don't know, their Twitter, their ability to burn people on social media, they could have that option.
We may get back to those because they may be relevant here, but so the two of you have access to the Grand Cross like news TV.
Yeah, it's like you get the cable in the hotel room.
Black Sun, the mega corp that's apparently behind the false flag, according to Aeschylus. Their representative on the steering committee for Grand Cross has been called into question publicly. Despite the fact that most people are treating most official people anyway are treating this leak that you provided with scorn or skepticism, their place on the committee has been questioned, and the committee person herself has been sort of on leave, if you will, administrative leave.
Wow. You can
while
tell
they
this is
investigate
fantasy
her.
because these people are actually facing consequences instead of everybody jumping to defend them and cover for them.
About to say, tons of people are defending them. The problem is that there are only so many seats on that steering committee, and there are a lot of megacorps who'd like that seat. So there are a lot of people defending them, but there are a lot of people who are being paid $50 to tweet mean things about them. So
get in on that, Ranch. Get yourself that hard $50. Ratio some guy.
I saw the CEO in the woods with the devil.
So many Proctor. Okay. In the meantime, the situation has gotten a little worse. Two of the districts near your district, near Elysian Hills, have actually also been locked down. and are currently non-responsive, and no one can get anything in.
Oh no.
They are also all three of your districts have actually raised their blast shields, which was not a thing that was happening when you were still there. So no one can even look inside from the other parts of the O'Neill cylinder. They are completely locked off, and there's probably not a lot. They're probably working off artificial lights in there if they have any light at all.
Oof.
Yeah, it's kind of getting worse. In response to the situation, Grand Cross doesn't have a lot of options. They used to have a security force that was public, that was sort of like an actual Grand Cross security, but it was kind of expensive, so it ended up getting privatized. And most of these smaller privatized security forces for districts there's one. They're in each district kind of hire whoever they could afford. So none of them could really help. There are two companies currently vying for a contract who are offering their services to deal with the situation. And the decision is they expect a decision to be made in the next day or two about who's going to get that contract and deal with the situation at hand. The two frontrunners are Lone Star Security Solutions, and Securitas AB.
Nice. I like
very
that
bad.
you took things from two different, other pseudo sci-fi post-apocalyptic universes.
Securitas is just a security company that exists in real life, Jenner.
Yeah, they do. Oh, yes, they do.
Oh,
They're real bad.
They're a security company.
Out of character for a moment, Securitas acquired the Pinkertons in 1999.
Ugh.
Is there a world lore thing? I don't remember.
I mean,
Let's see.
For this game?
run with it, but there's the understanding that a couple things have been named in lore, so just go hog wild. It's our.
No, I mean sort of like a role for how much do you know about a thing? Okay.
I mean,
Sure, there
probably.
might be.
Yeah.
Let's look at the rules.
Yeah,
Let
let me
me
look
my
real
PDF
quick.
up.
Because
I've just been fucking around adding animated GIFs to the stream image for the last 10 minutes.
Amazing. I'm genuinely delighted by that.
Yeah. I'm trying to
Sad
find.
I can't see it.
I like how the section on getting into fights is called "Fighting and Other Bad Ideas," as in getting into fights is actually a very bad idea.
Honestly, it'd probably just be if you have a appropriate skill, because nothing's specific
Yeah.
about knowledge
Yeah,
checks.
you just
Let's
tell us
see.
the best. It looks like instead of making a roll beyond hacking to get information.
Yeah.
It looks like you just tell us what we could know based on what you know about us. I could tell you in regards to what Salim could learn. His brothers and sisters and siblings in the Masjid do keep in contact with him on whatever is WhatsApp now.
Well, the problem is there's no internet going out from
Yeah.
that area.
Yeah, and his anarchist buddies, hang out with him in Telegram, but again, no internet. So there's actually almost zero way for Salim to learn anything that he might know. So it really is going to be whatever.
So the two watching the news right now are the Ultimate Cloud Chaser
Yep.
and
Ranch.
Construction Boss.
Yep.
Goro Majima.
You actually, Loka, your character actually is vaguely familiar with both of these companies.
Mhm.
They know that Lone Star has a reputation for being mostly on the level. They actually do a lot of you've worked jobs where they've provided security stuff that's really high profile. They're pretty typical Rent-A-Cop in a lot of ways. Except that one, they like to sort of portray themselves as being sort of sheriff of the Wild West, the little star and everything, over their ridiculous power armor. And two, while they try really hard to have a good reputation as being the good guys among a increasingly diverse and bad field of PMCs and security companies and are technically kind of less ruthless, they're not exactly squeaky clean.
It's not PR.
They try to avoid having unnecessary civilian death, but that doesn't mean they're always successful.
Right.
The other one, by reputation, as because you've also been on jobs where they have been hired. Securitas is bad news. They've been bad news for a very long time. They're kind of ruthless. They're incredibly just do not care if people get hurt in doing their job, and they only got worse after Grand Cross was complete because they were originally one of the companies vying for the privatization of the security force here, and within a couple of months of that happening, they lost all their contracts because all of their security forces on the station were so violent that it was becoming a public embarrassment.
They couldn't keep coming up, and basically, it was too much to PR.
Yeah. So they haven't actually they haven't really done anything on the station in a couple of years. So seeing them back would probably not make you feel great. Right now, no one knows which one of those two will win out, or be the ones who kind of deal with the situation however they see fit. They have two very different plans. Securitas' plan is to basically storm the districts. Just straight up, PMC style, blow a hole in the top of the blast shield or drill or whatever, and then just storm them. And
I can't wait until Sleem learns about this. He's gonna be like, great, and I'm supposed to stop a military action with fucking Cool Ranch, the high follower Twitter profile user, dude, and fucking Bob Vila. Great.
Lone Star's preferred approach here, and they're kind of being very public about this because they want to prove that they're competent and not ultra violent so that they can potentially get more business here, is they want to try and basically give terms to the terrorists inside and kind of give them a offer of safe passage or something like that in response, and basically, we don't shoot you when you come out and you leave. Sort of this is a hopeless situation for you, this is not going to work. Basically, pretty standard hostage situation kind of stuff. They would prefer not to storm the districts because it is very bad luck.
A lot of people getting shot is PR.
Exactly. They prefer a much less violent way.
Well,
not long after you.
All right. You want to tell Salim, or do I have to tell him?
I sit up from the bed I'm in. I just pound on the wall behind the headboard a bunch of times till he gets pissed off and comes over.
Once I realize what you're doing, I join in.
Alice, you wanted to give them a bit more information. I'll bring.
Not at all. Bruce Sleep should definitely come over.
Okay, so he hears the pounding on the wall, and he's like, "Oh, okay, maybe I should give them some privacy." No, I'm joking. He doesn't know what sex is. Sleem has never been horny in his life. So he stands up and gets out of bed and washes his hands and stays very calm, just gritting his teeth, just walks over there.
You gotta walk outside to the balcony to walk in.
Yeah,
it's
walk
one of those
outside to the balcony.
hotels that opens up to the outside.
The balcony, he's just gonna take a quick paranoid look around because you know how he be. And if he sees anything, let me know. But otherwise, he's gonna head into he'll hesitate for a bit just to look and be paranoid before he heads into the room with the other two people who are apparently his teammates now. So yeah, Salim steps in, opens the door, doesn't open it in a very angry way. He just opens it, pretty fine. He looks grumpy as he always does, but he's no more grumpy in appearance than he usually is. So it's fine, I guess. We've only hung out with each other for briefly, so you don't have that much familiarity with Slim. He doesn't.
We got shot at a lot.
Yeah.
So that tends to make people closer.
Yeah, he doesn't look any more angry than he usually looks as he steps into the room. He's still not wearing a shirt. He still has his military coat with the sleeves torn off on.
Of course.
We fill you in.
Oh,
I'm not
man.
gonna roll.
How does Salim take this?
God. So as you're talking about this and telling him about this, Salim probably knows a whole lot about both of these two companies. He's probably worked as a freelancer for both of these companies, considering, he just picks up any odd job he can with the background that he has to, pay the bills and support, his
Really quickly, canonically, has Salim worked for either of these in any capacity?
Canonically, I don't think he would have the stomach to work for basically Fantasy Blackwater here that you're talking about, Securitas. But the one that has more of a better reputation, he probably freelanced for them a little bit. Before,
Okay.
So he definitely has more familiarity with Lone Star than he does with Securitas. But it's not like he doesn't know what Securitas is, especially since he worked for Lone Star.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of backbiting and ragging.
There's actually a lot of there is a really intense rivalry there.
Yeah.
You'll know from your experience working with them very briefly. Lone Star's sort of strategic tactical doctrine is that they put a high emphasis on keeping civilian casualties from occurring, and if they do occur, for them to be as minimal as possible. Because one, it's bad for the company, but two, they do actually internally there is a culture of them actually seeing themselves as being the good guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very internally invested in that idea, even if they're not necessarily all that great.
Yeah. So
that going
that's
in.
appealing to Salim because he's kind of tired of the norm. At least these people like to think they're good. So yeah, hearing this, he's just great. I don't want either of these people to win, but if it has to be one, and I hate this lesser of two evils bullshit, it should probably be Lone Star. But oh my god, so we're supposed to stop this, just the three of us?
Well, what are we supposed to do? What are we doing?
Yeah, what are our
aside from us hanging out in this hotel?
While you were it's interesting that you asked, because while you were actually talking about this and filling Salim in, you do get another message from Aceless on all of your devices. You haven't heard from him since the day before when you got locked out.
Right.
And his message is kind of rambly, which is weird because his messages before have been very brief and blunt.
Mm-hmm.
He comes off as being a little haggard.
Mm-hmm.
He has good news and bad news. The good news is that he thinks he knows why you got locked out, and he thinks he can get you back in.
Okay.
The bad news is that he's not going to, because he really needs your help, and if you can help him one more time, he'll let you in.
Wow. So now Salim looks angrier than normal.
He's really, really sorry, but he has no one else to turn to, and he knows you're going to be really mad, and which is why he was still not going to tell you who he is. He's specifically saying, I don't want Salim to shoot me, so I'm still going to be super mysterious about this, but I can't let you in because you're the only people who can help me right now.
Is he gonna pay us for this?
I would not shoot you. That's a waste of bullets.
He does actually tell you that if going home isn't enough, he is willing to pay you.
That's good.
He does not mention how much.
Great. I love it when they don't give a number.
It's always great when the message from your mysterious benefactor starts with, "Okay, now promise you won't get mad."
Well, I established Alice I didn't establish with you two. Saleem has a bit of a reputation, at least in the sector that he's in Grand Cross. So it makes sense if Aeschylus has any contacts or familiarity with that sector in Grand Cross that he would be familiar with Saleem and be like, well, I got to reach out to this guy because I need his talents, but also, oh god, this guy. Yeah. So,
All right, so what do you want us to do?
yeah, because like Saleem's just like I don't even know how I could lead with this kind of team. No offense to do anything about this, Aeschylus. So if you have, normally I just like take charge and figure something out. But if you have an idea for how you'd like this to go, I'd be happy to hear it. I'd be extremely happy to hear it. You got to put a lot of emphasis on that. It would please me immensely if you had a plan.
He doesn't have quite have a plan, but you just have some targets.
Mm-hmm.
On his end, the person the source of the initial lockout, the source of the initial lockdown is still a mystery.
Mm-hmm.
He has not been able to find out who actually did it.
Mm-hmm.
He knows who ordered it to happen, but finding out who did it has been very difficult because, again, they were very good, and the only way he's going to be able to undo any of this is if he finds them, or finds their machine that they did it with.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the meantime, he needs time to do that. He can do it. He just needs time. Unfortunately, he's worried that the Grand Cross Steering Committee is not going to give him that time. He asks if you've been watching the news.
I have not. They have.
Okay, he will give you
What's on the news?
he'll give you a very brief summary that there are these two companies bidding on a contract on what to do to handle the situation in the lockdown.
I remember what you detailed. So yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So he's just going to give you the very basic details, and add on to that he knows enough from having picked up some internal traffic in their various corporate offices on the station that one, Securitas is planning to within 5 hours of getting that contract, they plan to storm Elysian Hills first, and make a big display of it. Two, the Lone Star is planning to take this as slow as possible for fear of what will happen if the accelerationists actually do intend to use the districts as a colony fall kind of thing.
Yeah, they might
So,
be continuing their bullshit, yeah.
Which means, of the two, one of them is going to get this job, and he needs you to make sure that it's Lone Star because he needs time. If they attack early, he doesn't know what's going to happen with someone else entirely in control here.
Yeah.
He hasn't. All he needs is for Securitas not to get that job, and right now it looks like they're going to because they're way low bidding. Because they see it as an investment into a loss leader to getting onto the station and taking over security services for most of it.
Okay, so I have a couple ideas for how we can go about this, you two. Most of it, unfortunately, relies on Cool Ranch, but we'll try and think of something that you can do, Will. The first thing I think we should try and do, Cool Ranch, is try and get a hashtag trending to, inspire the city council to pick one thing over the other to make it seem like Lone Star is more popular and more in demand by the people. And that might make it usually doesn't, but it might make, if they think the voters and the constituents want this, it might make them consider that it might not. I mean, it's out of character, we weren't able to keep Amazon from coming here no matter how loud we were, but maybe in the fantasy world it'll be better. So Cool Ranch, if you could try and get a hashtag trending to get to make it seem like Lone Star is what the people want, that might at least buy us a little bit of time before the council makes a decision.
They are currently seeking. Like in the period of what's it called?
Public comment.
Yeah, public comment. So it would be a good time to do that. Aceless does have a couple of things like he has a little bit of resources that you could use, money wise, but also he has some codes.
We'll have Cool Ranch take a look at them, and then Saleem will pull up, if there's a chair in the room, he'll pull up a chair because he doesn't want to be. It feels weird to sit on the bed. It's awkward, and sit down. And if there is no chair, he'll just stand there awkwardly, but look over at Willie and be like, "Now we need to figure out what you can do and what your skills are. So tell me a little bit more about yourself so I can apply your skills better." And he's instantly in commander mode. It's clear. He's back to being, back to being the sergeant first class that he was back in Iraq. Instantly trying to figure out how to use the team he's been given to the best effect.
Let me take stock of what social media I have left after.
That's true. You had to start up a new
after
account.
what happened a couple days ago. So I look, and all I've got is TikTok. And I don't know, fucking what's
Neopets.
Yeah, I have a Neopets forum account that I haven't logged into 4 years.
Amazing.
Let's go into the Neopets forum and post. You missed this one.
Do you still have a GitHub account, or whatever counts as GitHub now?
I mean, yeah, no, I use one of those sites that you just get a login that someone else put up there, so I never have to log into that site. Because why would you want to log into GitHub?
Right.
It's owned by Microsoft. It's bugmenot.com. It's great. You just get a login for a site you don't want to make an account for.
Oh gosh, is Fefner commenting on the stream? I should probably open up the chat. I'm probably missing things that she's saying. I'm so good. All right, sorry. So Willie, Saleem wants to know. Please prove to him, tell him how you're useful. He needs to know.
Well, I think instead of getting something trending, what if we just hack the public comment at a bunch of comments?
I think that their Lone Star actually, my experience with Lone Star. And by the way, there doesn't seem to be a contacts role here because that's what I was going to do is reach out to Saleem's contacts that he used to have.
It'd be probably a social thing.
Yeah, I'll look into social roles here in a minute, but I believe this is in character. Saleem says, I do believe that Lone Star is more popular than Securitas amongst the people because they are just less dicks. They're still dicks, ACAB, but they're not as bad. So I don't know if we'll actually need to bot this at all. Give it a shot authentically first before botting it, and then if we still need more, then bot it. That's my thought on it. Anyway, Willie. Please, Cool Ranch, by the way. He says very politely. He's got such kind eyes when he's trying to be nice. And he looks back over to you and smiles. It's kind of a strained smile. He's trying his best, but so what can you do?
Well, normally I build things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it.
Oh. Here's the thing.
I mean, you did whack a guy real good once.
I mean, look, you know how to hammer a nail. Oh, you know how to hammer.
Are you saying that when you're really good with hammers, everything looks kind of like a nail?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying.
Saleem smiles.
Nice.
If you say that in character, Saleem will smile a little bit. Maybe there is a little bite in you. It's more of a genuine smile instead of I don't know how to deal with this person's smile.
If I remember right, I did bring my power tools, so we do have those.
I like to believe that you brought your tool belt.
You brought a fucking 4x4 with you, if from what I remember.
Yeah, that's right. I brought 2x4.
Right?
Yeah.
I like to believe you brought your toolbox and your tool belt. I like my mental image of you is the character from the Home Improvement who doesn't suck, who isn't.
Ooh.
Yeah, who isn't Tim Allen? The
Who
other
isn't Tim
one.
Allen? Yeah.
I forget what his
Yeah, I
name
can't
is.
remember
Al
him either.
Borland.
Yeah,
My
Al.
mental image of you is Al Borland, just so we're clear of what your character
That's
looks
good.
like. Anyway, so
So we kind of like need a mission. So what is our goal here?
if Aceless has orders for us, Sleem will try to figure out how to implement them. If not, Sleem, I have to come up with the plans beyond just doing this, like poll
So-
manipulation.
Aceless's explicit orders are that either one, he needs you to ensure that Lone Star gets that contract tomorrow or the next day, or two, he needs you to make sure that Securitas withdraws their bid because they cannot fulfill that contract.
Okay.
He's got some like low-level security codes for their actual corporate offices, both of them. But unfortunately, he's kind of got his hands full right now, so he can't really give you more than that.
Okay, I have another plan for Cool Ranch, but we need to figure out what
I think our best bet with those explicit directions would be to infiltrate Securitas and adjust their bid to be way too high. So it just organically happens, regardless of whatever the people do, because the government doesn't give a shit.
All right, if you can do that too, here's the two other things. So do that. Manipulate the polls to make it seem like people demand it.
No,
Okay.
that's like we have to like get into that building to do that.
Okay,
we couldn't
will
just like do
that.
it.
That sounds like a good plan. The other thing I would like you to do is hack a big Securitas Twitter account and make them tweet the N-word to really get people upset at them.
Oh yeah, I just do that.
Okay, thank you.
I just hack the social media. I guess I could roll for that.
Yeah.
This is just for me. This isn't like gonna help us do this. How do I roll in this game? I forget.
It's under hacking. It's 2d6 plus.
Well, no, like how do I roll? Like 2d6 plus.
2d6 plus whatever stat you're using for hacking. It's probably going to be your highest stat because you built your character to hack. It's going to be clever. But you want to look at the hacking part to decide what kind of hacking you're doing.
So what are you hacking real quick?
I this is just for me. I'm gonna gain control of Securitas's like social media account and just like do a bunch of like shit posting.
Really racist.
So,
posting.
Like getting Twitter fights with randos, you know, the kind of
Okay,
stuff
so
that
you're just gonna like brute force it basically.
Yeah.
So that's
that's
hacking bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be a 4 network level.
Okay.
That's probably gonna be bullshit. So 2d6 plus clever versus the network level is 4.
All right, let's have a look. It's a 14. Or is that, I know how that
Really
works.
good.
So
Wow.
I just add it.
Sleem refuses to look at whatever it is you type because he knows he asked you to do it, but he doesn't want to see exactly
So,
what you
I
are brazen
don't-
enough to put up.
I don't overtly like start like dropping slurs, but I start like picking Twitter fights, like really about really petty shit.
Mhm.
About like
Hot
I find
dogs and sandwich.
all the people who are like adding the company about like how they don't want them to come in and do the stuff. I like come in there. I just like shout us like arguing with them about how this company's better for it and shit. Like, but it's like it's all like inane and like really it's a real bad look.
Okay, interesting. Because I think you're actually gonna have to do another roll.
Oh no.
How good is your cool?
My cool is 0, but I have a +1 at social embarrass, which is kind of the goal here. Except I kind of embarrass myself in the persona of this company.
I'm looking at these rolls
Your
and
name is Cool Ranch and you have 0 cool. I just want you to understand this, but do continue.
There's
Let's
no
see.
hot ranch Doritos.
okay, so I'm thinking this is would actually just because there is a small chance that in the world of memes this backfires horribly and you end up being like mean Wendy's.
Oh, actually, embarrass is clever or cool.
Okay, cool.
Oh, clever or cool, nice.
So I get to add my clever.
So like there is a chance that this might backfire horribly. And
I understand this intuitively.
So, let's see.
It's versus a
singles.
cool. It's a post roll.
Okay, so that'd be, is that 2d6 for me?
Yeah, it's 2d6
Yes, plus
plus
whatever.
stat. Whatever stat
It'd be
you wanna
plus
assign.
the company's cool, I
Yeah,
guess. Is
oof,
what the.
this might be powerful.
All right. 2d6. So go ahead and roll yours, and I will roll mine.
I got 11. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so it does turn into memes, but not as in the like you don't become Mean Wendy's Twitter, and also
No.
you don't succumb to the urge to become Mean Wendy's Twitter.
No, I get ratioed real hard, and
Like-
it's exactly what I want.
You just get fucking corn cob to death. Everyone thinks that you're a laughing stock, and it is incredibly funny. Like without you having to start it, someone starts a hashtag about your actions and how fucking hilariously mean
Somebody
they are.
has linked the LinkedIn profile of the person they know is supposed to own this account, and they're laughing at the real guy who's supposed to be running this account, not the person who hacked it.
Oh, he's so fired.
Oh no, he's already fired.
Yeah.
There's gonna be like the account will get wiped, and then tomorrow there'll be like a blanket like we apologize for blah blah blah
Got hacked.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
but it'll be too late. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So are you
Thank you,
going to leave it there, or do you go any farther with the next 8 minutes of control that you have?
No, it's just pure id shit posting. It's wonderful. I've had
Alright.
that time in my life.
Eventually, in all your clicking, you do find suddenly that your account is locked,
Mm.
and you are kicked out of their account.
Well, yeah, it's just a social
Yeah.
account. It's not important.
Yeah, it does take you were able to do it for a solid like 30 something minutes though.
Well, yeah, I like change the passwords. I like make it real hard to get back into it. It's a big pain in
You
the
changed
ass.
their avatar to be Goatsy or something.
No, it's like I think the avatar is like a gun held to someone's head now or something. Like
Ooh.
obvious police brutality.
I thought you were gonna
I'm
go
about
with
to
like
say-
a super soaker or something.
I was about to say you should change their thing to just being the Pinkertons badge.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Start
So
posting Wikipedia links to Pinkerton stuff, just like all that.
I do have an idea
Alright.
of how to use Willie's skills because we need to break into their company and
Well-
cover this up more.
All right, so
Let-
I did all that. It was fun. I don't know how productive it was, but I had a good time.
Well, you also put up the poll. We've achieved something. Sorry, you had a thought, Willie. Please, you have the floor.
My idea is that we have to find out who has the power to sign these contracts, and then just like barricade all their doors and windows so they can't leave their homes
Amazing.
until after the contract has to be signed, and then they'll just give it to Lone Star. We'll just build a
Okay.
second larger house around their house and then lock the doors from the outside.
just like caulk their
Cock the window shut.
There. Yeah.
They're gonna walk out of their living room like, wait a minute, why am I still in my living room?
Amazing.
So you do know that the contracts are voted on by the entire steering committee,
Yeah.
but
Now I'm gonna get busy then.
they do need to have a quorum to do anything legally. So
Nice, so we don't even have to find out, who's voting which way. If we just block enough people, it doesn't matter.
well, you might not even have to do more than one. So the steering committee is already down a member because the Black Suns Black Suns lady is technically still on the committee, even though she's on administrative leave. They haven't replaced her, and another member of the committee is kind of like also on sort of like medical leave right now. So technically, they only have a quorum barely. There are 3 of them left, and if one of them doesn't show up for their next meeting in the morning, they technically cannot proceed and cannot actually have a meeting.
I like this plan. Saleem is warming up to you visibly, like, I'm so glad you're not just like. He had a very.
Well, I imagine he
impression
goes
of
like
you.
he goes to all the like city council meetings about everything, right?
Yeah.
He knows all the bullshit.
All right. So, but we still used
He's a small business owner. He's the
Aceless-
worst person imaginable.
Aceless and Cool Ranch.
Hey,
Wow.
I meant just in theory.
Yeah.
I based this character off my dad. I don't know how I feel about.
Sleem thought you were a boss, not like a decent person boss. So he's nice to hear that you are not that. He's relieved.
Mhm.
So yeah, we can definitely do that. Sleem is 100% behind this. Also, Aceless and Cool Ranch wanted us to break into their building and do some stuff. We can do that too and that sounds more fun. So let's begin by figuring out which person we're culking into their home. So let's go through who's left on the board, and let's find out who we're locking in their own home.
All right. So you have 3 council members left. And I'm writing names into this so I do not forget their names.
Professor Layton is our rival, 100%.
Well, thinking about it, we should probably find the person who lives the furthest away from the place where they're going to sign to vote. Because then, even if they do get out, they're more likely to be late.
That's smart and we'll have to debate about that in character. Because Sleem is thinking about this from a more political angle of whose career can we injure the most by having them not show up. Like, who can we damage politically so that maybe they get primaried and have a more competitive race if they don't show up to this? Then what's the most effective thing to get the thing done? Like, Sleem's thinking big picture, you're thinking small picture.
You do know that, like, right now, all the remaining council people are people that are pretty popular, but also, like, that changes pretty fast around here. Give me just a second. I need to remember what this guy's name is. I was not anticipating you guys going after them, so I'm going to have to figure out.
Gonna randomize some names.
Sorry, my cat was getting the cable again.
Go on, Odie.
While you're figuring out names, I need to run to the restroom, so I'll be right back.
All right.
Sleem is stressing out because, like, he can't contact any of the people that he would normally contact to get, like, assistance in facilitating the more aggressive plan that we're going to do after we do this low key stuff to set up the field, right? So that sucks. Like, he doesn't have access to his ham radio. He can't, like, get on his WhatsApp. It's just, he feels kind of useless. His usual means of, organizing have been really injured by this.
Well, I mean, do you know anyone outside the district? You would be able to get to them. Just not anyone in the district.
How is there a Muslim community in this area that we're in now?
A what kind of community?
A Muslim community in this area.
Oh, Muslim community. The answer to are there Muslim people? Yes, but let me. You know what? Fuck it. Roll.
I don't know.
Yes, there is.
Okay. And is there
at least from a quick search on any kind of like anything connected into the Grand Crosses Matrix will tell you that yes, there is a Muslim community here. There is a mosque a couple of blocks away from you.
Okay. And is there like punk LGBTQ anarchists here too that are actually semi-organized, or are they still kind of?
You know that there are a couple. I'm actually going to see if there is a role I can have you do for this because I'm curious.
I wish there was. Like, I want a gather information role. I'm definitely going to request that.
I'm actually I'm bending this slightly.
Oh, I would. Wouldn't that be doing prep for like a mission?
Yeah, kind of.
It usually, yeah. You know what? Actually, that probably should be prep.
Prep, so I can roll for prep. Let me find where prep is.
I hadn't really thought of that as being the mission because the other one's mission, but yeah, that's actually would be prep.
All right, I'm back.
How do I roll prep? 2 types of prep. Unused prep goes away at the end of the mission. Personal prep, that's probably what I'm using here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we should all do that. And then you can just have that as resources for the mission
Yeah,
as
okay,
we do it.
cool. All right, great. So I'll roll my personal prep right now. 2d6
So let's all do that.
plus ability, plus specialty verse 7. So I am going to be using, I guess my cool stat. That's the
Yeah, cool.
my cool stat to get this prep because like these people might not know Sleem. He's really well known in his district, but this is not his district. So he's just going to see if his renown is like people even have an idea of who he is here. So, yeah.
My cat just stole my mouse.
Oh, good cat. Mighty Hunter.
She attacked it from behind the computer and yanked it right off the table.
Okay, so it's 2d6 plus cool. So that is, what's my cool? I have to open up my character sheet. Plus 2, and then plus ability, or plus specialty verse 7. And I'm going to add my anarchist specialty to this. My anarchist trait to make it, I guess, a plus 1 on top of that. So it's going to be 2d6 plus 3. Looks like. Great. Okay. Nice. Those are the names. Oh, man.
Oh.
Koze? Okay, we're definitely locking in Koze.
How does advantage work in rolls? I said to have advantage on stuff. Is it just 3d6 and take the highest 2?
Yeah, you take the highest 2. You
Yeah.
roll. I think it's roll twice and take the highest. Or no, it's take the highest dice. Yeah, I forget. I'm sorry.
I believe it's 3
Okay, 3
and
you
you take the highest.
That makes sense to me. Alright, I'm gonna make clever roll to get prepped for what we're doing to get my tech stuff together.
So how does prep work?
It just basically that's your
Verse 7.
pool
So
of
I got
resource.
a 9 and it's verse a hard 7. So 9 means I just kind of got like
You get so you have
I
one.
got 1 prep.
You have 2 prep because you also get 1 for just rolling
Yeah.
if it's the
Okay.
first time.
So let me put
So this is basically what this is you don't need to go over it now, but it's resources to use during the mission.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just say that we did this before.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I just
And
wrote
let
that
me
down
roll mine
so I
too.
remember what I did. But yeah. Okay.
So I got a 2, 4. I got a 8, so I got 2 prep as well.
What about
Actually, I think
you?
I have 3
What about
7.
you, Willie? Or it looks like you rolled a 10.
A 10.
So you didn't get.
So you have 3.
also
You have
two
3 prep then.
3 prep. Okay,
Just
cool.
3.
Yeah.
You get 1 just for rolling for the first time you roll in a mission.
All right. And
All
then
right.
how do you know how much you get after that?
It's 7. 7 is 1, and then every 3 points above that is another 1. So plus 1. So
Okay.
you get 3 total.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Canonically, then, how Sleem acquires this prep is he's going to basically go out to the masjid and to the punk areas and introduce himself and like see how he's doing, like really briefly. He's gonna go out for a pack of cigarettes, and by that I mean go out and meet up with those people and make contacts, and I'll employ whatever help they can give me inventively when we do the mission.
All right. Okay, so y'all have done prep.
Yeah, I don't think we have time to do group prep. It takes a week. And we don't
Yeah.
have-
And y'all kind of need to move on this in the next 12 hours. So y'all wanted to head off and try to basically do the whole caulk the keyholes of their house kind of thing. There's somebody. Which one of these people?
Well, who lives the furthest away?
Well,
Let's go with Willie's plan first. I am biased against Kaoru Koze because it's a fucking Utena reference and you baiting me. But who lives the furthest away?
She's actually the furthest away.
Amazing.
oh, what a coincidence.
We're gonna push her
The
down
closest-
stairs, and then we're gonna call her.
The closest to you is actually Ivar Fauchen.
Okay.
He's known for living like in this really like he basically has a compound. And he's known for being a little bit of an eccentric. And he's the closest. He's also the one that's got an actual like They say he has some kind of like really tough security, but no one can agree what it is. So shrug.
Let's avoid that one. Yeah.
Yeah, let's not mess with him.
Basically, who's the bougiest?
Artemis Finch.
Mm.
They live in one of the high Hab spires in this part of Great Cross,
And
which is a lot richer, honestly.
Okay, and what's up with Kaoru's situation? Because now it's go on. Tell me about it a little bit.
The research you do gets you an address, and that's literally it.
Oof,
that's all you have. There's no information on the actual building. There's no really anything. You basically the Great Cross's version of Google Earth can get you a grainy image of the building itself, which seems to be a pretty normal 2 or 3 story domicile for what you expect people who have some money on Great Cross to have.
Like a single family home.
Yeah, like a single family home. If your family is super bougie, and that's about it.
So Sleem will gather you up once he gets back, hear this information, and say, okay, we've got 2 options. Kaoru's probably going to be easier to caulk into her house because it's a smaller house. But if we go to Artemis's house, we can he looks at Cool Ranch. You can drink his beer and eat out of his fridge and party for a little bit while we caulk him into his house. So
I mean, we don't want to go in his house while he's in there. That's dangerous.
Yeah,
we can also just break the elevators and do cool stuff there.
Yeah. So which would you 2 prefer?
I think Kozue makes the most sense.
I think Kozue makes the most sense too.
It'll be the easiest to barricade, and it will require the least amount of barricading.
Yeah, I can't wait to hack into that home automation system that surely exists.
All right, so we have our plan. Get the you have the prep, so get the stuff you need to actually seal this lady in. I want to try, and we got to make sure that she has no secret bookcase bullshit, so she can still sneak out. I'm gonna try to mess with her vehicle also, so she has a difficult time getting to, even if she does escape. So that's gonna be my plan while you're caulking up the doors and doing whatever it is you do.
Well, that's for the mission. Let's go. You can go over that as we're there.
So we'll head over there. I'm gonna change our clothes, of course, and head over there. Try and look a little bit
now
more
wearing
suspicious.
black skinny jeans instead of blue skinny jeans
and
a turtleneck.
Yep.
It's very Steve Jobs-esque. I'm not gonna lie. It's really lame.
Yeah. And Sleem will just send a quick message to Aeschylus saying we're initiating our plan. We'll update you when we're done. If we don't update you before the time amounts, press F to pay respects and send it.
Okay. He does reply after a few minutes. Up till now, he's been pretty fast. This is kind of slow for him, and says basically K, and then a second message that says, "Keep your eyes open."
Okay.
That's it.
I also say K. No, I don't actually send back to him. I leave him on red.
He expects nothing less.
Yeah, Sleem is curt. It's his character. It's one character trait. He's curt but soft. Secretly soft. So we'll head over to. How do we get? Is there mass transit that can take us there, or are we just walking?
Yes.
Bus?
So Kozue actually. Okay, so Kozue does not live in this district. She lives several districts over, but this district's not locked down. So you can take the mag line, which is basically just space train.
Is it like one of those ones that's it hangs from the rail?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can take the mag line. It's going to take about 45-50 minutes to get to where she actually lives. Because he lives in one of the more densely populated districts, which is way bigger than yours, but you can get there pretty easily. Getting around is pretty easy too. By the time you make it there, by the way, you have gotten a notification saying that showing that Aceless has funneled a significant amount of money into your personal accounts.
Aw.
With sort of like in the sort of billing line of sort of like business expenses.
We'll see if that stays there. We'll see if the check's clear. But this is the most good faith.
No, it clears. It is yours.
Amazing.
It's just marked as business expenses, and that is it. They are each from different accounts.
Wow. Canonically,
Direct
this is the most
deposit.
good faith from an employer Sleem has ever experienced. So this is
Well,
comforting.
I will point out that you never gave him the actual routing information,
That's
so he
true.
could
That's
do
a little
direct
scary.
deposit. He definitely like found that on his own.
Mm-hmm.
This is also
Like-
payment for the first mission we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make of it what you will. He did mention that if he had resources for you who needed them.
Mm-hmm.
It's between the three of you, it is actually quite a bit of money. It's enough that you it's enough that if you pulled all of it, Salim thinks he could outfit a small team of mercenaries.
Oh man, the dream.
Not very well, but they'd have something.
Mm-hmm.
Getting to the actual Habspire is pretty easy. This part of Grand Cross is a lot more sprawling than what you're used to. Do you think you ever would have been to the more richer parts of the station?
No way.
I probably would have, because I actually have a tech job.
This place, if you're used to it, the place is just loud. If you're not used to it, then this place is a neon nightmare.
Yeah, Sleem
It
is
is-
a little shell shocked by it. He's just.
It is God, it's so much happening all at once. There are hollow ads on every surface, basically, it feels like, and the ones that don't have hollow ads have plastered paper posters for literally everything from a bar down the street to sex lines everywhere. It is absolutely without any kind of semblance of order.
Oh man.
Yeah, you
there's
can
incredibly alive.
measure that. It's like the rings in a tree. If you kind of scratch through the layers of all these ads, you gotta figure out how long they've been here. It's really,
Yes, my actual. I'll be truthful with you. What I actually have in mind is literally the inside of every single phone booth in London, which has only two kinds of ads: the ones for bars and the ones for pretty ladies.
There's also the ones for house parties.
Yeah, it is true. There are some for house parties. I will concede that because I saw a couple. But yeah, this place is incredibly alive. It is full of people, and it is kind of like being in New York if it sucked more. I know it's hard to imagine, but bear with me.
New York is pretty bad. No offense, folks.
Yeah.
All right.
No
before
offense.
before we get there, I'm like, all right, turn your phone off. I'm serious,
Sleem will turn his phone off.
and
It's
I
not
hand
like
you
he
all.
needs to send messages to anybody anyway.
Yeah, but it's more because you can be tracked of that. So turn that off right now.
Yeah.
I put mine in airplane mode.
Yeah.
I need it to hack stuff.
But
and
it takes him a
shit,
minute.
but-
He's just staring around, clearly kind of out of his element and overwhelmed. This is not what Sleem is used to.
This is where all the rich people live.
Yeah.
The not the middle class rich people, not the upper class rich people.
Jeez.
So the cops that
Hate
you're.
them.
By the way, the cops that you're used to, the handful of B cops that are in Elysian Hills, are still using vehicles from the 90s, 30 years ago or 30 plus years ago for you. The ones here you see them because they fly over you.
Oh Jesus.
They have small, independent little, what amount to kind of little scooter things with their fly.
Yikes.
Yeah, it is night and day. The tech level of this place, it feels as if you stepped 100 years.
Though,
Oh,
I do
the
wanna
hover
say, If we
segways.
could hit one of the people on the flying scooters with a rock and knock him off the scooter, that'd be fucking hilarious.
Maybe
Put
on
that
the way
the
out.
bucket list.
So getting to the actual Habspire is pretty easy. You can hail a cab or use a map, whatever you want to do to get there. Actually, how do you get there? Because that might be relevant.
I probably. Well, I don't want to use my. I don't want to do anything that can be tracked.
Okay.
So, probably I since I prepped for this, I have a burner phone. And we
Yes.
get like bird scooters or something, like those shitty ass like motorized scooters that
Yeah,
are fucking
they're-
everywhere.
Yeah, you actually can hire. You can hire a several. I don't know what they would be called. I'm just gonna call them jets and scooters. Little scooters. You can hire a couple of those for an entire day. Unlike whatever that shitty company is,
I don't
they
hire
actually are
them.
good.
I plug in a little thing and just take one.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can rent them basically. I'm sorry, hires what like the British call it. You can rent them for pretty cheap for like a whole day.
No, but I'm not doing that. I'm gonna plug in one of those cheap like boards you can get off eBay.
Oh,
and now it's just yours. And
Nice.
later I'm gonna throw it in a river.
Okay, I'm feeling it.
Yeah,
Because these things are a blight on society. They're terrible.
Yeah, these things. Locals hate these fucking things. Saleem even turns up his face at the idea that we're gonna have to use these goddamn things.
I'm like, no, listen. When we're done, we'll throw them in my dumpster.
Okay, that's comforting to him.
They are okay. So you have 3 of these. They are a little rickety.
Well, yeah, they're shitty.
Yeah, they're not really great. One of them has not been charged enough, but it does get you there. I'm thinking, actually, I'm going to roll so it's like random. Actually, Saleem's is the one that is barely has any battery power when you get there.
It's what he deserves.
You have that thing has just enough. That thing has just enough battery power to get about a block away from this Hapspire before it dies.
What do you throw it when it dies on you? What do you do with it?
Well, first I want to establish Saleem definitely does not fit in this neighborhood. He's a wiry trans man with no shirt on. Brown. He's brown. Like, he clearly stands out. And now he's like hunched over, like he's on this fucking scooter. And it's so demasculating, and he's still working through some stuff. He's not quite super comfortable with himself with his masculinity yet. So he's visibly upset.
So how do you dispose of it? What do you do with the fucking
second
shitty ass
the thing runs out, I have to actually make a cool roll to see what he does, and I believe you all want me to succeed this because Saleem has to stoic trait, which means if I lose my cool, I get disadvantage on my next roll, whatever it is. So we better make sure that he actually keeps his cool, as funny as it would be for him to not.
So it is going to start going down. How would we roll? Actually, because I do actually kind of want to make you roll for how you deal with that.
We probably start with stealth, right?
Unless this thing crashes horrendously.
Yeah.
Well, that made this represent the stealth roll.
Yeah, that's what. It will be, unfortunately.
So
Okay.
What's the security level? Probably like maybe a 4.
I'm gonna say a 4. It's kind of a bougie neighborhood, and like the Hapspire does have its own security, and like they're on the lookout for the riffraff. So like if you crash hilariously here, they're not gonna think you're a criminal, but they are gonna notice you.
Yeah.
They're calling the cops because you're suspicious.
Yeah.
He's not white. They're gonna fucking call the cops on him. So, and he's oh no. Oh no.
It's shit. Yeah, that's bad because it's a 9 you're rolling against.
Oh no. It's not good.
Hold on. Let me see what prep can do. Can you re-roll with prep? You cannot.
I'm sorry.
You can only boost it from before.
Saleem can only tolerate so much indignity because he's still, like I said, he's still working through so much stuff, and this is just so humiliating and demasculating to him. It's really, this is just
All right.
the worst fucking situation, like one of the worst situations you could.
So
put him in.
how do you yeet this fucking thing that gets us?
The second it like runs out of energy, he screams at it, kicks it a bunch of times, picks it up, slams it against a wall, like screams really loud and like does like this.
I do have a question.
Yeah?
How do you handle the descent? Because these are not like next to they're not at like ground level.
Oh my god.
It starts coming down from like 15 feet in the air.
Oh wow.
Like, do you you can pilot it down? Do you handle that gracefully?
Slim doesn't know how to handle this. He's not new to this at all, so absolutely not. So first, he's just going down. Like it's comical. It's embarrassing how like he's just like spinning over himself. I warned you about the stairs, bro, into the fucking ground.
After he lands and has this moment, he will sort of like have a moment of clarity and realize that next to him is standing the doorman from the Habspire with a concerned and somewhat wary look on his face. It's like, "Are you all right, sir?"
Selena's not all right. I failed the cool roll. I can't pretend that he can be cool at this point. So Slim snaps, "No, I'm not fucking alright," and like stands up and grabs the scooter and just fucking yeets it. I'm not gonna roll for it, but it's yeeted. It's yacht.
What do you throw it into?
Oh god, what's around that he can throw it into?
You were on the
big neon ad that he can just like fucking smash.
You were like on the sidewalk next to the Habspire you were going to be entering.
So like again,
I thought we're going to the lady of the house, right?
The Habspire is actually a civilian thing. It's think like high-rise apartments for people who are way too rich.
Oh, okay.
Oh god.
I thought we were going to the single family home.
Yeah, we were on the single family house one.
You're on
Oh,
the
okay.
cozy
I'm
way.
sorry.
Right now.
You're going to hers. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fuck me. I'm sorry. I got really confused there.
I think you just throw it in a bush.
No, that's not.
Yeah, you throw it in a
No.
bush.
No. So we're in like a single family neighborhood.
There is somebody
No,
hiding in there.
Okay, so it is a neighborhood. Like this is it is a rich people neighborhood. I'm sorry. Let me back up. You actually have to scooter your way out of the sort of city center to get here, but it is a rich people neighborhood. She does have a doorman, who just kind of like sits at this little guard post.
Oh, it's like a gated community, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah, it's a gated community. At the front of the community, and it's still the doorman, but like you did this thing into a bush, and he is obviously a little comfortable. It's like,
Well, what I want
Sir-
to do is I actually want to yeet it into the yield sign because that's like.
Okay.
That's like symbolic, right? The yield sign is like, please don't, and Slim's like, too bad.
sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
I'm leaving.
For the good of and he's just like kind of like stunned. Are you gonna leave for real?
He's gonna pretend to leave.
Okay.
Wait, actually, I'm gonna roll bullshit. How long am I angry? Like, acting on the anger now, does that mean I can kind of get back in control?
I think that you can. I think that you can probably cool down if you can manage to keep him from like literally aggroing you. I think you could probably cool down.
So this
But
is probably
right now-
your disadvantage roll.
You could at least one of these is disadvantage.
You
so
can
I'm-
spend a prep to make that just regular, though.
Yeah, I might. We'll have to see. So
You have to do
Slim's gonna be
before.
like, I mean, yeah, I'll leave. I guess, Her Majesty doesn't want her freaking catering then, and this will be a bullshit roll. Like, I'm here to deliver food to this fucking rich lady.
Yeah,
If she
you
doesn't
fucking
want her
Uber
fucking
Eats.
food, I guess I'll leave. So this is 2d6 plus cool versus clever on a single target, as I pretend that I'm a food delivery guy.
Oh, you spend the prep to get
I'll-
disadvantage.
yeah. Well, yeah. We have to
All right,
spend.
then,
we have
yeah.
to spend it before we
Before.
roll instead of after we roll. So yeah, this is gonna be 2d6 plus. Hold on, plus cool. Let me look at what my cool is. Plus cool is +2. And
It's
then
cool. Yeah, it's versus his clever.
And hold on, I have a specialty in this. I have a specialty in bullshit excuses. So I'm gonna add a +2 to this. So it's actually gonna be 2d6 plus 4. Ah, nice. But it's at disadvantage. Well, no, I've spent this prep for it to not be a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your prep is you have this like food delivery with
Yeah,
you.
I brought a pizza or something fancier than pizza, but yes.
Well, it's like Uber Eats. It's
Yeah.
probably, you went to like a fast casual restaurant
Yeah,
and got
I
like
got
the takeout,
fucking-
right?
Olive Garden. Let's keep making Olive Garden a joke in our campaigns.
Okay. Okay, so I've got to roll. And that was bullshit, correct?
Yeah, that was bullshit.
It's versus clever
It's
plus
versus
I
clever.
guess the threat level.
Okay, so this guy has a clever 0.
Oh, good.
I mean, he's a security guard. You know, he's no Paul Blart. Okay.
Oh, good.
Despite himself, like he can kind of see it. You know, you are on a shitty scooter, and you do have what looks. If he doesn't look
breadsticks right here.
you look kind of like space. You do kind of look a little bit like Space Waiter.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of buys it, and it's like, okay, please just don't throw your scooter anywhere else. In fact, if you could leave that here with me, maybe.
Just leave it
just
like it's not even
you
yours.
just-
It's just you leave it on the road.
Oh, can you tip me? Do you have that? I'll leave it with you if you can tip me.
I mean, I could see if I can fix it.
No. You want the food or you want the scooter?
Well, I mean, I'm just the doorman. The food's not for me.
Okay, so
you would know that the scooter is like a public thing that
Yeah.
it's not public, but it's like you just leave it on the thing and someone grabs it.
I'm
later.
misunderstanding the GM and staying in character. Is he asking leave the scooter or leave the food? I'm sorry, because Slim is misunderstanding. I'm misunderstanding in character.
No, okay, so he's asking you. He's saying that it's fine for you to keep going. That he gets that you're a delivery guy, and that's fine. But he's asking if you can leave your incredibly dead scooter with him, and
yeah, he just kickstand on
yeah,
on the
just
sidewalk.
like just leave it here, and he's worried you're gonna like kick it into someone's house, but or crash it somewhere. He says if you leave it with him, he'll recharge it for you.
They would absolutely have policy that you cannot ride these things into the neighborhood anyways, right? Because it's
Slim
gated.
He's like,
yeah.
Thanks for doing me a solid, fellow working stiff. It's been a long shift.
Yes, sir.
Meanwhile, the other two of us just fly over the wall and meet you inside.
I kind of usually I'd make you roll for that, but I'm not going to because I think this is very distracting.
Yeah, Slim has caused a massive distraction by having his tantrum outside this gate.
Okay, so you're able to follow the streets pretty well. It's a quiet neighborhood. It's a quiet neighborhood. It's got you see a couple people walking by, just kind of mind their own business. You do eventually reach her house. Kozue's house is as kind of how you saw it in that grainy picture. It's 3 stories. It's very, very modern, but also kind of simplistic, very streamlined kind of architecture. Not a lot of hard edges to it. It does have a wall and a fence with a little with like a little thing where you can ding dong to use the intercom to get in.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it. The wall is about 6 feet tall.
All right, is there anything nearby we could like hide out in while we plan stuff, while we do stuff, like maybe a house for sale or something?
Nope. There's some. These houses are pretty far apart. Imagine it's basically a subdivision. Imagine a subdivision where there's like 2 houses worth of space between every house.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really spread out. She's got bushes around her wall. And there is actually a green area behind her house.
Oh yeah, we go back there.
Yeah, that's kind of like a little commons. It's got like little like benches and stuff and like a little park table. So there's a place you can chill for a second.
Yeah. We'll head back there. Slim is eating the Olive Garden because it's not for her. It was for her. He's
eating a breadstick.
He's angry eating. He's trying to calm himself.
I don't know. Is that halal?
Sure.
I mean, I guess it would be.
Depends on what he got.
I don't know what the dietary restrictions are.
Probably vegetarian stuff. I know the dietary restrictions. He probably didn't get anything with meat in it if he keeps.
I mean, it's a breadstick.
And it's breadsticks, and it's probably like an Alfredo, like no chicken Alfredo noodle dish.
All right, so
Noodle dish.
you do have a place where you can sort of hang out for not forever, but for a while.
It's like night right now, right? At this point.
It is early evening.
Yeah. All right. So we gotta do this quick. We gotta do what we're gonna do. It can't be obvious though.
Well,
I was thinking I'd hack into their home security system and just like
let's make sure
some
we're
stuff.
not being recorded first.
Okay, so are you gonna try to access any like camera systems?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's probably. I mean, it's just a house, so there's probably like just an internet line going into it. So I just tap into that shit.
Okay, you are able to find a hardwired matrix connection into the house. Let's see, network level. The network level is actually only about a 4.
This feels like a trap, but Slim isn't one getting this information.
All right, let me see. Probably
this would be a this is actually would be a
I'm gonna say charm probably because I just want to get
Yeah,
into it without
charm works.
So let me look at my stuff. So it's still gonna clever versus. I got advantage on this, like everything. I will use my hacking. And bam.
Oh,
I didn't
forgot to slash.
So that is
nice.
drop the 2. So it's
Oh yeah, it's not even hard. It's child's play.
This I'm like they got the default pass on this router. Come on, man.
we're talking one level above the password is password. Which makes a lot more sense when you realize that there's only one thing on this network.
Only one.
There are 4 cameras in a little system that operates them that you have access to, and they are external cameras facing outside of the wall. You do not have any other connections on this line.
So I tell them I think this is like the external network that's just their security system, and it's not like their internal stuff. Which is kind of strange, actually.
Well, you know enough about how like the matrix system for Grand Cross works to be a little weirded out. Yes.
Yeah, this is strange. Like, it's weird that it's like a city council person has like a private network like this. I just set the cameras on loop and then log out.
So remove the footage from before you messed with it.
Oh yeah. I scout it back, I override it, and it's just like it's on like a slow loop now.
Cool.
All right. So you are no longer have to worry about these cameras seeing you at all.
Okay. Next thing, I'm gonna. There's no rule for helping, by the way, and we'd like y'all to add one. But Slim's gonna just stand back and you can do it to like low key moralize, I believe in you to Willie while Willie fucking batters down the hatches and seals this lady in. Oh, is there a way that we can make sure she's actually at home? Are we just gonna barricade this house without knowing that we're?
Well, I mean, is there like a car in the driveway?
Oh yeah, we should look.
Was there a garage? I have to investigate. So they gotta do stealth for real this time.
Oh no.
I mean, I had an idea. It's probably a dumb idea. Should we try and convince her that we're here to do legitimate work on her house so that she doesn't wonder, like, hey, what's this? That sounds like somebody is barricading my door with a hammer and nails.
Nah, she's like construction glue and caulk and stuff. It's quiet.
Well, we don't.
Okay.
No. If Willie says it's going to be noisy, he's the one who has the expertise in this. So if we need to distract this lady, so we can, or convince this lady that we're supposed to be making this noise in order for you to pull this off, then that's what we're going to have to do. So is that what we're going to have to do?
Alternatively, we could make a lot of noise to cover it up.
Willie would know that. Like from jobs he's been on before, where he's had to supervise public kind of like works, that it is not that hard to convince people that you are here because the station government says that you're supposed to and you've got a job to do. They tend to be pretty easy to convince.
Yeah, I was thinking I could just walk up to the door and say, "Hey, your landscaper said we got to fix the roof."
Okay. Can you?
Oh yeah,
There's
it's
problems
it's the HOA, right?
Yeah, there is
Yeah.
like there actually are. He would also know that there are some places on the station do have kind of strict codes about maintenance because unlike on Earth, it's a space station and your lack of maintenance can actually be a problem.
I don't like this idea that we've given the HOAs this much power.
They are tyrants, yes.
All right, go ahead, Willie. I mean, just I guess push the intercom button and see if you get a response.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make a bullshit roll. R2d6. My cool is 2. I get +1 from Stoic. Do I get to add anything else?
No.
Oh, one of my
Unless you have the
specialties is
limit-wise.
bullshit.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Did we all? I did.
Of course we did.
Well, I think bullshit hacking, not bullshit social.
Okay, yeah, I took bullshit social action. Small business owner. Here we go.
That's versus they're clever.
That's a pretty decent roll. Oh, very nice. Good job.
Okay, you
What
do the
the
intercom and me. What do you say?
I just say, "Hey, we're here to fix the roof."
You hear something like somebody. It's
Also-
like so. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
This is important. I'm holding a clipboard.
Amazing. That gives you a +1 for sure. No, go on now.
Clipboard and a hard hat, right?
Yeah, wearing a hard hat, holding a clipboard. No one will question me.
You hear what sounds like a kind of muted voice from a distance replying to you.
Okay. What did they say?
You're not really sure. It's kind of like somebody's answering the intercom from halfway across the room. Do you say anything else to them, or are you trying to sort of ask them to speak up?
Yeah, I guess I should. I guess I say, I can't quite hear you, but unless you've got anything to say, we're gonna start working on the roof.
You hear a noise that sounds like this. And then, out of nowhere, the door opens.
Oh,
Like,
no.
the gate opens. Like, intercom cuts off like it's supposed to.
Oh no.
Weird. All right, I put on a hard hat and I give Slim a hard hat.
Oh, thank you.
Just wear this.
The inside of the wall is actually a nice little garden. It is immaculate.
Is there a car here?
No, actually. If she has a vehicle, you do not see it.
Interesting.
Could be
You
a
know that
mustache.
sometimes the rich will sometimes have their vehicles kind of stowed away in garages underneath the house, or the garages that sort of like the trap door opens up kind of thing if they have something that flies. But you don't see that.
Okay. Weird.
All right, you two go do whatever. I'm gonna try to get into the actual network,
Okay.
and I go around the side of the house to look for like the network jack.
Okay, who wants to go first? Hacking or exploration?
I will wait.
Okay, so exploring here. Do you go straight for her door, or what are you gonna do?
Willie's in charge, so what do you want to call first?
We should probably start with the door. That way, if we run out of time, we've at least gotten the biggest thing.
Okay. Yeah, Slim's just gonna join with Willie and stand around. So it looks like two workers are working. Slim knows a
You're
bit.
handing me tools.
Yeah, he'll hand you tools and stuff. He's done like a bit of handiwork, but it's not on my sheet. Like he hasn't done enough for me to have put anything on my sheet that means that he could like get bonuses to rolls or anything. But he's competent enough at helping out people.
I have included a picture of kind of what this house looks like.
Oh no!
Oh god, that's a lot of windows.
Oh no!
It has less windows than this.
Oh my god! I hate it. I hate it.
It doesn't have the windows on the first floor,
Oh no!
but it does have the windows on the second and third.
This house is bad. I'm gonna pull out a Molotov and just burn this house down. No, continue.
All the houses in the neighborhood look like this.
Thanks, I hate it.
Is the opposite of brutal.
Just seeing what the sight of this has.
So what were you doing? I'm sorry.
Well,
Sealing the door.
starting by sealing the door.
Okay.
Once with caulk, and then I'm going to barricade it with wood.
Okay. Are you trying to be quiet about this, or are you just gonna like
They
assume
know we're
that?
here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's late enough. They're not going to care.
You're able to barricade the door pretty well, where somebody would have a hard time opening this thing. You're able to sort of caulk it and jam stuff in there. The doors of this house are not automatic, which you notice immediately, because having non-automatic doors is considered kind of luxurious. Look how I can afford to live this way. The Sybil Vimes view of life. It's considered kind of very, very stylishly old world, and you can basically make this door unusable. They're going to have to remove the door to fix this.
Amazing.
Nice.
Circling around, there is a back door leading to a small, a little hedged off area in the middle of the garden with a fountain and some chairs and stuff. And basically where you would have tea. That door is actually open, just slightly.
Well, I guess seal that one too.
All right.
We're sealing everything.
Okay.
We're not going to find a door or window and say, "Well, we're not sealing that."
Yeah, let us know.
I mean, isn't it kind of suspicious though? That's kind of ajar. Let's go ahead and look inside and see what's happening.
I guess if Salim wants to do that, he's more than welcome to try. But we want to keep people inside.
Yeah, seems very paranoid, and this is a feeling.
We're here to enforce social distancing.
Yeah.
You're very goal oriented. Is all it is.
Yeah.
Okay. These are the only doors on the bottom floor. Do you want to? There are no visible windows. You think that there's probably at least one window that somebody can click a button and part of the wall comes down, but those are not going to be windows they can get out through. There probably is a window that opens up on the second floor. Do you want to attempt to climb up there?
I'm thinking about it. So here's the thing, and Salim is actually going to talk about this. What if Securitas dickbags are already in here intimidating this lady into voting for their interests? And that's why this door is ajar. Or what if there's some other unsavory shit going on with this lady?
I mean, do you want to break into her house?
No, but there's no way of knowing why this door is ajar. What the heck is going on?
I'm honestly waiting for you to just rush in.
Yeah, really, I can't care about this bougie fucking council lady. Just fucking seal her in. I'm gonna check in on Cool Ranch.
We're just blatantly. We're so glad you made a plot for us, Alice, so that we could ignore it.
No, don't worry. You're not ignoring anything.
Just cast Amontillado, this bitch. I'm gonna go talk to.
Oh, absolutely. For all you know, you're doing what I hoped you would.
Yeah.
She'll get out of. I'm not here to keep her here forever. Just long enough for Lone Star to get the.
I'm gonna go talk to Cool Ranch and see if we can look through the cameras inside of the house and see if there's anything going on while you're sealing her in. Don't seal that top window just in case we have to go in and do something about whatever's going on in there. When I come back, we'll seal it if there's nothing going on. Okay. All right. You're doing.
All
good.
right.
You're doing good work.
Back to Cool Ranch.
Hello.
Back to our decker. You are basically a decker. There isn't a hard so you weren't able to find a hardwired entrance into anything inside, but you know from just you know enough about how the houses of the rich on Grand Cross work to know that the chances of her not having a matrix connection are zero.
Yeah, it's insane that she wouldn't.
Switching looking at you look for hardwired, you looking for wireless, you're looking for if she has her own fiber network, everything else, you do eventually find traces of a wireless network.
Yeah, it's probably hidden.
Which is hard for you to get, but you can isolate this is a signal, I can find it. It is flickering in and out, and it's a little hard for you to keep your computer on it for.
Is it just out of range, or is it something going on?
It's kind of if you ever tried to get in a signal in a building that has really thick walls and the router's way in there. It's kind of like that.
All right, this is time for drone. I am going to I have a little quadricopter with a wireless computer on it. I'm gonna hook in this network and kind of fly it around so I can get a better signal.
Okay. Really quickly, I'm gonna need you to do. I'm trying to figure out if this is gonna be one roll or two roll for a thing that's about to happen to you.
Is it a chance of me being discovered?
Yes.
Then it probably be stealth first.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna need you to do a stealth roll first. This is going to be I think it's gonna be a 6.
No, I still have advantage. Also, I have an advantage on all clever rolls except social ones. Which
you also have your advantage on this.
Plus, what's my clever?
It's probably 3. It's probably your
It is 3,
highest
yes.
stat.
So that is a 11.
Nice.
So that 7 plus 6. You said. What number?
It is 6 plus 5, so 11.
So I just beat it. I
beat it.
Yeah. So I am undiscovered right now.
Okay, so your little drone goes up there, flies around. It's able to get a better signal. But let's see if you can actually access the signal that, the actual network that you have now found.
All right. It's the classic way of hacking Wi-Fi networks is to just capture a lot of packets until you can decode the security key. Because most Wi-Fi networks are pretty shit security, just by design.
It's not quite Wi-Fi in the sense that it doesn't work under the same protocols, but that would probably work.
It's still you have to get the security keys to do anything with it. So it's the same, I would assume. So I think they just straight up simple. This is probably just
this is simple hack.
Yeah, just simple hack. Actually, it'd probably be charm again. Honestly.
Yeah, I can see an argument for either.
I'm trying to crack into it without like getting the information that it needs to let me think I belong there.
Okay. That's going to be a 7 as the network level, so you need to beat a 12.
Oof.
Let's be +1 for my stuff. Oh, damn. I worked real bad. I got 9.
So your plan's working, and doing all right, and then your screen just goes black. And then it turns on like everything's normal.
So I'm not necessarily So you get 3 chances, but you get 3
Yeah.
chance of risky actions when you're in
Your
space.
computer is fine.
Do I know what happened?
From what you know about computers, you have encountered this before. Like you realize that like all the stuff that you had, like all your little programs and tabs and stuff, are all like not there anymore. It's like your computer just restarted itself. There are some security systems that do this as a sort of like any attempt to access it with a device that doesn't entirely work up. If it doesn't work exactly right, it'll just sort of send a system for that device to turn off.
Okay.
And as a sort of like stop that kind of thing. But your system should be fine. Like your
All
computer's
right,
good.
then I crack my knuckles. Okay, that's how it is, huh?
At this point,
I'm
Slim
going to use
shows
my.
up and just is standing next to you, watching.
I
No
I
pressure.
put a finger up to him and say, hold on a
Yeah.
second. I am gonna bullshit this network. I'm going to overload junk data until I can get into it. This is a risky action.
Which was this?
It's a bullshit hack. I'm going
All
to
right.
I'm basically going to just basically overload it with a bunch of junk data until it like kind of gets confused enough where I can find a way in.
All right, then you need to be a 12.
Oh, God.
Well, like the network level doesn't change.
Yeah, it's still a 12.
Oh, what's up for? Okay.
Yeah,
So
7 plus
let's
5.
see. That is a 11. 13. Excuse me. I got it.
That will do it.
It's Slim's boost that he gives. He's got a great aura around him that gives you a morale boost.
Hacker voice. I'm in.
All right, so like this time it works totally fine. And it is what you were expecting the first time. There are internal cameras. There is a small there are several devices that are connected to the network here that are connected to the larger matrix. It runs through a bunch. She's got a really pretty nice setup. She's running through
obviously counting home automation shit and stuff.
Oh yeah, she's got
done.
This whole house is automated basically. She's got a setup where she is obviously she's actually seeing the wider matrix network through multiple proxies at a time. She's using a proxy to access another proxy level of paranoid.
Behind 7 proxies, you never find me.
She's done a lot of work to make sure that people cannot trace anything she does to this house, and then has the house itself basically rigged to be completely automated. There is a security system and is currently active passively.
Okay, so I'm gonna crouch down by you and say it's the Cool Ranch. One of the doors was ajar, so we need to go through these cameras and see if there's anything shady going on inside before you do anything.
All right. I will hack the cameras.
Okay. I need to see a roll real quick.
It'd be operate.
Yes. Go ahead and use operate.
All right, this is my. Actually, I would probably get my +1 for being well prepared. My new devices, and
I feel like the network level would be a little less high because you're already in. So I'm actually, it does give me some discretion to do stuff like that. So I'm actually going to say the network level counts as a 5 right now.
Okay. 11.
Okay, yeah. So you're over it
I get the feeds. I have control of the cameras. I can do what I want.
All right. I need to see if there is. Okay, so there's no something for morale shock, is there? Okay. Cameras show you the inside of the house. You got the living room. You got the living space that is incredibly spacious, ridiculous. It's got an inside pool, which is currently empty.
They have a indoor pool. I say
the whole thing is luxurious and beautiful and porcelain white, perfect, futuristic kind of looking. She's got art on all the walls from a dozen different Earth cultures. She's got a beautiful 3D holo painting of Grand Cross. She's got a wall full of plaques that she's received for like all the philanthropic and or like civic stuff that she's done. It's a lot. You will probably, upon seeing this, remember that you've heard of her before, specifically in that she's very rich and very private and gives a lot of money to a lot of different causes, but never comments on any of it. But the house seems empty. When you look through all the cameras on the first floor, do you keep going?
Oh yeah, of course. I got the whole thing.
Okay. Second floor looks mostly empty. It's some guest rooms. It's a kind of an entertainment, little entertainment center kind of like room with basically a small theater, a small library with actual books imported from Earth, not like
paper books.
Paper books.
What the fuck?
Like she's old school. That's the way that rich people go sometimes. And
I think I touched the book once.
You do know that like paper books are actually kind of rare on Grand Cross. They're out of
Yeah, it's
fashion.
kind of
on
weird
Earth.
that a guy's walking around with like wood.
Like wood, there is like you could get wood on Grand Cross. Like there are even trees on Grand Cross.
Yeah,
But
there's engineered wood
Resources, yeah, like resources are kind of like the idea of wasting resources that you could use to build stuff on Grand Cross is a little bit of a no-no. It's a bit of a faux pas because like every bit of resources when you live in space is valuable, and the idea of wasting it on books seems a little excessive. It's the kind of thing you expect for a rich person, like an obscenely rich person, to have books. Unless they brought them from Earth. If they made them with wood from Grand Cross's botanical centers, then wow, it would cost way too much money, and also what a douche.
Mhm.
So depends. And then you scroll to her bedroom, and which is the last camera you find, and you discover a mess.
Oh, great. I say out loud.
Yep, Saleem has. In fact, we say it in unison.
The bed has been split in half as if something like an axe the size of a human being did it.
Oh no.
There is nobody there, though. There is no sign of blood, and there is no body. Something came in, destroyed this bed, wrecked every bit of shit in here. Like broken art, like just a destroyed dresser. The camera also like catches part of the bathroom, and it's like the bathroom is destroyed, like the mirror is broken.
Oh no.
Toilet slashed in half. I just point at the window by that thing and say, "Go look."
Yeah, she's not even in here. Like, so Saleem's gonna.
Well, if they left, they let out the window.
Yeah, so Saleem's gonna
Go look.
push over. Yeah.
That's all that you can see on the cameras at the moment. Do you keep monitoring them?
I keep like opening like a tab while I'm doing
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Because like
you're only
a lot of security systems, they only record when there's movement. So I have it to pop up if there's movement on a camera.
Okay, this one has records going. This one has records of basically any and all movement or sound beyond a certain level that occurs in this house.
Yeah, because they do that to save.
Yeah, you can tell that it keeps them for about 48 hours.
Yeah.
I guess I scroll back and look, see what happened.
Yeah. You tell Saleem to do something, he kind of gives you a look, like watch it, but he also grunts in approval at you doing a good job, and then he rushes off to do what is needed to do, but he's not following your orders. He's just doing it because it needs to be done. Please understand, you're not the boss of him.
Oh, so you went back on the records then, right?
Yeah, I'm doing that while he's going to look.
Okay.
Did fucking Jet Seems Jam come in this fucking room and cut her bed in half? Like, what happened?
As Saleem heads off to see if he can get up in there, you start scrolling back. Nothing's happened for several hours. At some point, you start going faster and faster and faster. It's like, is there anything here? And you hit a point last night yesterday evening around 5, when the committee woman is like coming in the door of her house. She is piping mad. She's yelling about the situation in Elysian Hills and the other districts. Someone on her personal phone, and like slams down a purse, like like kicks off her shoes. It's just furious. She's switching really quickly between English and Japanese. Like whoever is on the other part of this line, you get the feel like this is not a business associate. This is like someone she knows. And so she is being incredibly candid about the fact that, like, how angry she is with the her colleagues because they're bending over backwards for people she calls bloodsuckers.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to undo everything that she's tried to build, and she cannot believe that it's all going to hinge on and I quote, a fucking Twitter hashtag.
I chuckle when I hear that.
As she does, you see her like sort of like she doesn't hang up. She just takes the phone, just like away from her face, and just sort of like takes a deep breath, puts the phone back to her ear, and she's standing in her kitchen right now. There's a little bar and a little like pillar next to the bar, sort of like kind of cordoning it off. She touches what you thought was a like just a little bit of holographic art, but when she touches it, you see is in fact masking a control pad, and she hits several buttons, and in the middle of her kitchen, there opens up a set of stairs.
Absolute Apocalypse
shit.
starts playing.
She hits the keypad again a little bit, and then the camera immediately shuts off. And the next recorded footage is 4 hours later.
Do I ever see her leaving? When I see the later stuff.
The next bit of footage, if you look at the camera, the next bit of footage is recording movement, and it is not in the kitchen. It is in her actual bedroom this time, and she is looking at something just below the camera, like basically where the door would be, and she's talking to it like you would kind of like she's talking to it in Japanese in a voice which sounds kind of soothing. You can't tell if she's talking to herself or she's like using some kind of wireless device or if she's talking to like a pet or something. And then you see her back up, concerned, and something enters your view. It is large. It is very hard to make out because it is moving very fast. And it destroys that bed in a single scoop, like a single swipe. She is able to roll off, but she isn't able to escape. It takes her with it.
How does it leave?
It breaks through the window, the one that, like, in the destroyed room. The window that was facing away from, like, your, whatchamacallit, for where, like, the front of the house.
Yes, that would be, like, early this morning that this happened.
Yeah, it would have been, this is, like, around midnight. It breaks through the window on the very top, and, you don't actually hear much. You hear the window break, but that's the only thing you hear. You hear when it begins to be a scream from her that is like cut really short, with a very unpleasant noise, and that's it. It leaves through the window, and you have nothing.
And then I guess you see that window that's broken outwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, the window itself is shattered. It occurs to you from looking at this footage that you probably did notice it, at least in part, because, like, it's you would have expected it to be like, parts of it left. There's nothing left. Whatever did it in such a way that it absolutely just like either vaporized this glass or something.
Wow. So she's probably dead. I mean,
she was kidnapped.
Yeah. Well, there was a crunchy noise. She might be dead, but if she's not dead, she was at least kidnapped.
The crunchy noise was the glass as it broke.
Salim.
Yeah, so, he's outside that window. He doesn't.
So before it cuts away from me, I'm like, then what was the noise? Then what was the response in the intercom? And then it cuts away.
Salim.
He's outside that broken window, looking up at it, and he's upset.
You see the broken window, and you see that, like, you know, like you don't even notice, you don't even register as broken at first because it's just like an opening
Mm-hmm.
that you assume is a window there,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you look at it, you realize it's not.
Mm-hmm.
There is like you expect to find glass below it. There is no glass.
Mm-hmm.
There are, however, a lot of little scorch marks.
Oh, great.
And now that you're really looking, there is in fact like what appears to be. It looks like somebody, comically, like someone was trying to dig into the house in just a single place, like a dent, about the size of your head,
Ugh.
about halfway down. It's pretty smooth, like the wall is, but there is actually a scooter up here.
Oh no. Not again.
Yeah, it is her personal one. It is on a charging dock.
Great. Okay, so I can't act on information I don't have, but from what it looks like, from what you're telling me, it looks like something jumped out this window, landed on the ground, and made this indent, like in a fucking Super Saiyan way, and now it's gone. Is that
You
correct?
don't see or hear anything. You don't see or hear anything. So yeah, you'd assume whoever made it so that window is gone is probably gone.
Yeah.
You'd assume so.
There's
Probably.
a dent in the ground that you're saying looks like somebody's trying to dig into the house.
Yeah, it looks like somebody. It looks like something either like was trying to burrow its way in to the house, or it like just landed really hard from really far up.
So more than one thing was trying to get in here. Okay. God, do I even like it? This like I don't know. There might be clues in the room that we need to get, but like if oh my God. Okay, well, he has to do that. I wish we had a way to communicate with each other, like smartwatches that we could like talk to each other through. It might be some tech that we can invent later. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and head up there. Sleem has a cyber leg. This is gonna be a bit difficult for him. Let's see what kind of athletics shit roll I can make here. Is there an athletics kind of thing that we can do here?
See,
I'm seeing like as far as like physical stuff, I see social.
So it's really, if it's not one of the rules in the game, you can just do it.
Yeah,
is
okay.
what it is.
all right.
If there's no codified rules on failure, then you just can't fail.
All right, so Sleem is gonna
Unless you're like under stress.
the cyber prosthetic leg that Sleem has goes from like his knee down.
You do have the scooter, so it's not like you have to like climb.
And
The one, like her personal scooter.
yeah, so he's gonna get on the scooter. He's gonna fuss with it. He knows enough, by the way, to also take these, like, jack these scooters. But he doesn't do it in a tech way. He does it.
I mean, you just turn down. It's a personal one, so
Yeah.
like you probably just hit a button.
If it doesn't turn on by just turning it on normally, he'll hotwire it because he has those skills. He's more of a manual flesh meat space fuck with things person than a tech fuck with things person. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you.
So, yeah. So he pushed the button. Do it turn on, or do I have to hotwire this?
Yeah, it's totally fine.
All right.
It is at full charge. It's also a lot better than the one you had before.
Nice. He'll put her up to the window, and he'll step in, and he'll just leave the thing floating outside the window.
So you're gonna go into the room.
Yeah, he's a dumbass. He's got to know his curiosity is getting to him. This is stupid. He's even saying to himself, "This is fucking stupid. You're gonna get another leg fucking blown off. Goddamn idiot!" As he's stepping into the room.
Can't wait till you walk in there and Sundown just like standing there looking at you.
Oh right. Let me look at this real quick. Loka.
I can't believe
Yeah.
you're doing this. I say to myself as I. Yeah, it's Loka's turn.
As you just finished the door, you just finished the door and you finished like checking around the house to make sure there's no other obvious way out. You're pretty sure that like if she's just still in there, she's not getting out. And And also the fact that her house has been vandalized. If nothing else, if she's not here, her house being vandalized should probably distract her long enough that it'll buy you some time, and an investigation will have to happen. You notice as you were making your rounds that there's a scooter charging station next to, not that far from the back door, and it is empty. And around the time that you notice this and have made sort of your second trip around, noticing that your Decker is furiously engaged with doing a thing, you return back to you return back to the back door and you finished everything. You hear something that sounds an awful lot like footsteps. Do you attempt to what do you do about that?
What did you say it sounds like?
It sounds kind of like heavy footfalls, like somebody in boots.
Well, we're still stealth, so unless you're doing something risky, you can hide at that base.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get out of the way.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of how to describe this. I don't want it to look like I'm hiding, but I don't want to be obvious.
They are coming from inside. Okay. You hear them boom, 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 and they stop. And then there's sort of a kind of like a weird little almost a little gallopy noise, like it's something going back and forth almost. And then you hear what can only be described as the sound of do you have a cat?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the noise the cats make when they are trying to get out the door? That sort of scratching that they do?
Yeah.
It's that. But really big.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Hey everybody, Slim's about to get his fucking ass handed to him by some kind of cat.
By Blade Wolf.
It's really fucking loud and it's really fucking big and it's metal on metal and it is not that far from your everything.
Oh god.
I know, right?
We have no way to communicate with each other.
Can yell.
Yeah. This is a bad time to not know what roles I can do. What's my runaway?
You can if you're
runaway isn't a fighting, it's called runaway.
Yeah, if you were fighting, you could just retreat. You can leave this. You go back to your Decker in the front yard if you want to.
I'm just going to. Yeah, I'm just going to slowly, carefully walk my way.
It will be a stealth roll, though.
Oh, great. Stealth.
Yeah. I mean, we're under stealth. Stealth only breaks when you risk your stuff. So,
this is if you move, this will be counted. Any movement you do here will be counted as risky.
Then I'd probably just run away, I guess, or hunker down. One of the two.
Yeah.
Probably the most appropriate things.
Okay, there. I found the stealth roll. So 2d6 plus clever. And do I have any ability or specialties? Nope. All right, here we go.
Oof.
I was about to tell you what the actual security level here is. And
Is it what?
It's a 4, actually.
Oh, so I get eaten.
As you are attempting to sort of awkwardly edge your way back into the front yard, you ruffle the bushes, and there is a pause. The scratching stops, and then when it starts again, it's twice as urgent, and the door that you just sealed very carefully, there's you probably look back and see that it's sort of shuddering, as if something is is ramming it.
The scratching stops and the acoustic opening to I'm My Own Master Now starts playing.
Yeah, and that only happens for a couple of like for a minute before it stops, and like you can hear it running around in there,
Hmm.
which I assume you look at.
I guess I try and look through the window to see if I can see anything.
There are no windows open on this front floor, but
That's
there are
right.
windows. There are windows on the second floor.
You know what? I'm not that curious. I'm getting out of here.
Do I see anything on the cameras? I have the active thing up where if I see movement, it'll tell me.
You
on
do
the
not.
feeds.
You do not.
It's invisible.
My displacer beast, you're fucking terrible.
Like there is nothing on these. You can hear something happening in there, but there is nothing on these cameras.
I'm gonna get my shit wrecked by my own persona, y'all.
I'm actually going to ask you to roll something for me real quick. This is just gonna be a simple hack. A simple hack sort of check of 2d6 plus clever. Of network level here is going to be a straight 5.
This is me, Sleem, or
This is going to be Cool Ranch.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it's always advantage because I am a nerd.
So good.
Oh wow.
Oh,
very
that's a
nice.
14.
Yeah, you're good. You know that trick that you used earlier?
Yes.
Someone fucking did it to you, and you just noticed.
Oh no! I've been hacked!
You,
Motherfucker!
as you realize that there's no way that this could be happening, like it couldn't be showing you something, you realize that it is awfully, awfully still in there, and like isn't it weird that when you look out the windows in the living room, like on the second, like the entertainment place on the second floor, that even though there's a slight artificial wind, that everything is still out there?
I slam a button to disable that and see what happens. See what I see. No, this one from earlier. They probably looped it like hours ago. I just didn't notice.
Yeah, it actually, now that you're really looking and paying attention, you realize it's a little too bright.
I disable that shit with my awesome roll and see what I see.
I am going to see if I can get an image for you real quick.
Oh no!
I gotta see this. I'm in love with about to get wrecked by a displacer beast.
I found the picture. It's funny that you say that because it actually looks like that, and it has multiple tails.
Oh, I love
And
that.
they do in fact have what appears to be blades on the tails.
So great.
All right. So I see that and I stand. I'm like, oh shit! And I yell at Salim.
All right. So while this has all been going on, well, is it my turn?
Yeah, I think you
It
hear
is
me
now
yelling
your turn.
outside.
Okay. So
You hear yelling outside, and you hear something really fucking loud down.
Yeah. So while they've all been doing this, Sleem has been creeping around the bedroom, cussing like and just shaking his head at himself and rubbing at his leg because he's getting phantom pains from when he blew his leg off in Iraq, and just like, yeah, I'm so stupid. But then he can clearly hear the scratching at the door downstairs that Locust character heard. Like, that is not something that he won't hear from inside the house. And he's just like, oh. And then, like, he hears, like, the scratching stop, and he freezes. Like, maybe I got noticed, but then it starts again, more urgently. And he's like, oh, I'm getting out of here. So he starts heading back towards the window. And then, by this time, I guess, this is when Cool Ranch starts yelling at him to get out. Yeah, Sleem is already leaving. He is already on his way out. This is a very no. Oh no.
There is, as you are leaving out the door, there is a horrible noise.
No. Not out the door.
Oh, I mean, out the window. I'm sorry, out the window.
Out the window.
Yeah, I'm sorry. As you're leaving out the window, there is a horrible noise. It sounds... How should I describe this? Have you ever heard something like sort of like, it's like a scream, but through about a dozen different filters?
Mm.
Like if somebody, like, took every guitar pedal they could find, hooked it up to the same amp, and screamed in agony into it,
Oh,
like
okay,
as loud as possible. It is not a good noise.
Does not sound good.
You hear something like you hear a big crash downstairs as you get out onto the roof of the second floor. And the sound of shattering glass.
Oh no. Alright, so Salim is gonna quickly just basically slam this fucking scooter back into the ground and jump off of it. And he's going to... Oh man, he doesn't know where Willie is, so his first action, like, Willie is the closest to the house as far as he remembers. He doesn't know what Willie would do because he has no familiarity with this group and what they would do in crisis situations. So he can't make any assumptions. So he has to go over to where Willie last was to get Willie the fuck away from this thing. And he's going to pull out his pistol, and he's so mad. Because he didn't bring his rifle because there's no way to look inconspicuous with his awesome custom rifle. All he has is his pistol as he goes over where Willie last was to get Willie to get the fuck away.
Okay, so you're going to head over there. I need to roll a thing real quick.
Can't wait till I get mauled to death.
I'm so
Okay.
I'm loving it.
Okay, you get over there, and Willie is not there.
Oh, great.
He is very not there, and like below you, you hear that noise again. It's different this time. It's more like feline than the first one. It still hurts your ears to
Mega
hear it.
meow.
Like it's more like, you know that sort of noise that cats make when they're frustrated.
I want it to be the my butthole meow.
Meow.
I'll have to link you to the my butthole meow later.
God, it you know that noise that cats make when they're like they see a bird outside, they're
Yep.
pissed that they can't kill it.
Yep.
It's like that noise, but like through a bunch of filters. And more crashes below you. Cool Ranch and Willie, you do not see Salim. There is a horrible noise that's coming from that thing, and also, like, Cool Ranch is now aware that at least one of these systems was being actively spoofed the whole time.
Yeah, I turned it off, so now I see this thing, and I'm like, oh shit. I think I probably back up to the wall on the outside of the house, just like in a panic. It's like scrambling backwards. So I was probably sitting like next to the house while I was doing all this.
There is. Oh, go.
I was going to talk with the silence. I'm just going to also back away.
There is a message flashes across your stream or across your screen, like something that's sort of in the actual security system for this house's network. Do you have the presence of mind to read that?
No.
Oh,
I hear an unholy giant cat noise. I saw a giant robot panther on the security feed just now. I do not have this presence of mind to read that at all.
Okay, good. It probably would have mattered anyway. Salim, you cannot find the man you left behind. He has vanished absolutely. Not unlike the councilwoman that you came to lock in her house.
Yeah, I'm doing a really great job, folks. There's shit going on. The only thing Slim can do is like just hope that like Willie didn't get got and head over to where Cool Ranch last was. So yeah, he's gonna truck over to where Cool Ranch was and get away from this. Like he doesn't know what is in that house, but it sound big. It not good.
I turn my laptop to you and show you on the camera
Yeah,
what I saw.
Cool Ranch, you'll show him, and he'll be like, "Oh, Willie, are you there? Or are you not with Cool Ranch? Are you someplace else?"
I'm with Cool Ranch.
Okay. So when
As-
Slim bursts through the bushes, I assume, to where you two are. He looks relieved, like briefly relieved, but then rushes over to Cool Ranch to see what the fuck is going on. And you show him this thing, and he pales. Do I know what this thing is? Have I encountered this thing before?
You have a very good idea. As you are looking at this thing, behind you, the front door actually bends in.
Oh no.
It has not given way yet, but it will soon. You're not 100% sure, but this looks like a dreamer.
Oh no. Those things are illegal.
Oh, they're more than just illegal. They're alien. In the sense that they are about as not human as you can get. Dreamers are robots that were alternatives to androids. Because androids are kind of, people, and inevitably they have the wants and desires of humans. Because they're based off of humans originally. Dreamers were an experiment by some of the companies that weren't quite squeaky clean enough to get their interest into space, but who wanted a part of the action. They're based off of brain scans of animals and just raw, like, speculative data. And some of them worked, but most of them didn't. And they used them they tried to use them for everything from construction to assassination.
So
And about half the time they just
animal brain with a
wander
bunch
off.
of machine learning.
Yep.
Yes, and half the time they just wander off, and they can be extremely violent.
Well, yeah, because they just do things based on inputs that might not make sense.
There are rumors that dreamers are in fact not quite as random, and they may have an actual like sapience in there. But if they do, they haven't told anybody. These things, the ones that are built for combat, tend to be incredibly powerful.
All right,
Lockheed Martin built a line of these that could shred an entire platoon.
Imagine like Big Dog, but even more terrifying.
Yes.
All right. I immediately got to get these cowards to react. So we're retreating back to your scooters, getting you on your scooters network, and getting you to the fuck out of here right now. So we are retreating back to the scooters.
Where's your scooter?
My scooter's dead and at the gate, so I have to figure
Yeah.
out how I'm gonna get out. But I can
Just
get
steal that lady's one. Just steal
Yeah.
the ladies one. Who
Oh
cares?
no, I have to go back to the house, and I don't think there's enough time. I'll have to find.
You do have to go back to the house for that.
Yeah.
Just get on the back of my scooter. It's fine.
But then the shippers.
Well,
Yeah,
I think we left ours outside the front gate.
Yeah, we have to
of this
retreat back to
house.
the front gate to get on those scooters, and yeah, I'll probably pal up with Willie for the shippers. Wink.
We run.
Yeah, we're getting out of here. I actually do update this Bliss and say she got gotten, mission failed, frowny face.
I think she got kidnapped.
Or devoured a single go.
And then
Maybe.
I post up Radical Dreams, bad game, good game, bad encounter.
That's the noise we hear as we run towards the front.
As you were leaving, as you were like putting up your laptop, you do catch a sight of that thing that you ignored earlier. It says it was a prompt for a Dead Man Switch code that you have not inputted.
Oh shit.
It says it's which it tells you. It also says that it just says simply calls have been made. If this is a mistake, please input personal code now.
I punch in the code that I saw the lady put on that pin pad earlier. Just praying. when she did like the hologram, like the hidden panel.
You roll bullshit for that.
Oh, absolutely. That
Hacking bullshit. Yeah. I feel like that's you're back to 7 now because like you're out of that system except for this. Like before you had the 5.
That's 11. So
Oh.
it's a +5 to 12, so I don't get it.
No, you don't. Oh shit. Okay.
I think what happens for me is I do it right by just fat finger like the last digit because I'm freaking out.
Yeah, like it's on a timer and it's like showing you a timer and you just you hit like between two buttons at the same time, just fat finger it and
then
it doesn't go.
it's like do like a red alert screen on my computer. Very obviously bad.
The screen of your computer screen just like is taken over by this alarm with a huge logo on it that you have seen before. It's a big old Black Sun logo.
Fuck! I just turned off. I just hold the power button down. We gotta leave. This is getting worse.
All right. I'm not gonna make you stealth to get out of here. As you are like speeding out across, it's pretty difficult. By the way, do you retrieve your now charged up scooter from the door guard?
I absolutely
at the gate guard?
No,
he sees you as you fly over, and he tries to like yell at you. It's like, "Hey, slow down there, kids!"
You're gonna get eaten by a Robo Panther. Don't say we didn't warn you.
As you are escaping, about 4 minutes after this, still trying to make some distance, right above you, a huge vehicle, like a big old VTOL, like streams past.
Heading to where we came from.
Yes, and it does.
Take a left. Go a different direction.
It's huge, and it's going directly where you came from, and it has a Black Sun's mark on it.
All right. We take some evasive maneuvers and go and look at alley or something.
Oh, it's not coming for you. It's going above you.
Yes, but just in case you see someone leaving the scene, gotta break a trail. I don't know. I'm just assuming because I'm in fucking dipshit.
Panic. If it sees you, it does not pursue you. You have a feeling that it probably sees you though, because like this thing is military grade.
We gotta diss these things and just like throw them in a dumpster and then go back to the hotel.
So where do you go after this? I think that's where we'll close here because that's what I need to know.
I don't think we can fly these things all the way back to the hotel. So probably ditch them somewhere near like a subway, like a tram stop, and get on the train. I use some cash to buy like a one-time use ticket, so it's not like tied to my ID.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. As you're getting on the train, people around you are they're like holding their phones up and like talking animatedly. Something is going on. We're talking like breaking news, like something really bad has happened, kind of thing.
All right, I turned my phone back on now that we're away, so I can look.
Yeah.
Breaking news today. Breaking news. And a further development on the developing story of the district lockdowns. It seems that that Councilwoman Kaori Kazue has been murdered by terrorists tied to the group holding the district's hostage, of Elysian Hills hostage.
I think I sigh relief just at that because it's not
as they say that she has been murdered by them, and as the news lady says this, you see y'all three of your faces with your actual names and actual ages and where you live. Elysian Hills.
Oh no.
Oh shit. And we're just on the subway, surrounded by people.
When you see this, you are on the subway. You are incredibly fortunate that there was only one person on this subway thing with you, and they are asleep.
Oh, thank God. Oh.
But there are lots of people in the other one.
Sleem is panicking. His brothers and sisters in the mosque are gonna be so pissed at him, and this is not cool. And he's furious. Like now, he's opened back up the chat with Aceless and just typing in "what the fuck" in like all caps.
When you look at your phone, Aceless has already messaged you saying "what the fuck." What did you do in all caps? He's been trying to message you since you landed. Like, what did you do? What the fuck? Please answer me. Are you okay? Please don't die. Like, he starts as angry, and by the last message, he seems like he's losing it because he thinks that you're dead. And that he sent you to go die.
So
How did they get our...
Hits messages back, what did you do? Like, question mark, exclamation part.
I didn't do anything. Why did you kill a councilwoman?
No.
I just wanted them to vote.
No.
Oh, we didn't. I sent him the footage of the fucking shit that I ripped off that network.
He does not reply for a good 10 minutes. And when he does, he says, he can send you this, and I'm making it intelligible because it's like filled with misspellings and where he forgets to space words. Oh my god. Oh fuck. We're all gonna die. You need to go back to the hotel and hide. I don't know what to do. I'll contact you before midnight. Please be safe. Oh my god. I sent you money. They're gonna find me too. Please don't get caught. Like, it's like just like a stream of consciousness.
No, just keep on smashing. Well, we're wanted criminals now, I say, and I just sit down on the subway as it goes toward the destination. How did they get our pictures?
I think that's where we're gonna. I think that is where we leave off. You have successfully managed to become wanted criminals for the murder of a woman you did not commit. I mean, the murder you did not commit, but you have seen happen. You have run into a mysterious form of life that is semi-mythical, and your overall mission may or may not have been severely compromised.
I imagine, yes, it was. Oh, we just picked it random. Well, rip and piss. Nice knowing you.
All right, well, that was quite the adventure.
Yeah, Sleem is so like trembling and just quiet, and all he can do is send a message to Aceless that just says, "Is there anything we can do to protect you?" And I guess that's where we'll end.
And we got bodied by Blade Wolf.
Yeah, I did not get bodied by Blade Wolf. It will happen one day. All right, that was an excellent session, Alice. Good job. Good job pulling that out of your butt, like in 3 hours. Anybody have any final thoughts or words about this system? I mean, we test played it before, but this is
can't wait till we're on that colony when it hits the Earth.
I'm feeling a little more comfortable. My only feedback from this time around is that it would be nice to have even if they're not going to have a lot of stuff for like roles for more physical actions outside of combat, it would be nice if they have a suggestion just in case.
Yeah. Because
sometimes knowing whether or not something is possible by a role can be very fun.
Yeah.
I consider doing for stuff like climbing or do you get away fast enough? I've considered for non-combat, I consider doing 2d6 plus whatever. I think it's quickness. It's a quick or something. Whichever the one for running away does, or tough or something.
Yeah.
Some sort of suggestion to that effect might be nice, but otherwise, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, in general, I agree with you. I think if there's not a lot of tension or pressure going on, just doing the thing you want to do, if it's a athletics kind of do thing is fine. But if there's pressure, if you're being aggressive with it, I think rolling just to kind of get an idea of how well you are at it would be good, and so having a way to do that would be good.
Yeah, there needs to be stuff for when there's because when you're in stealth, you're hidden and you're not like this, there still might be like time pressure or like physical pressure like on your situation that like failure would mean you get found out, but there's nothing in the rules currently to like do anything about it, because sometimes you're endangered by circumstance instead of just by like someone actively looking for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like you do risky stuff, but sometimes the risky thing is just like doing nothing. So you have like,
I think in general, the rule of fun that seems to be leaning towards here, where you can just do silly stuff without having to roll, and when it comes to like tricks and stuff, is cool. But I would actually like to roll sometimes to like, especially if like, say we're in like an active war zone and people are shooting all around us, being able to do like silly stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably use some of the combat rules creatively for a lot of stuff for that, and I probably will in the future if we play this again.
Yeah, if they don't add this themselves, we'll probably
yeah, I would just say like maybe some of the combat rules, but it's like about like avoiding danger stuff, like not necessarily hunkering down or running away.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to like just move around.
Yeah.
Reposition in combat, get like a better situation for yourself that's not necessarily fighting back.
Any thoughts from you, Luca?
But you're still in danger of doing it, right?
No.
Okay.
There's nothing I could say that hadn't already been said.
Yeah, I'm gonna end it here. Goodbye, everybody.